The market's uncertain, revenue's tight, and hiring on hold. That's why results-driven companies are using Upwork to keep work moving. Go to Upwork.com today and start hiring proven freelance talent fast. No bulky overhead. No rigid long-term contracts. Just the right expert right when you need them. Work smarter and faster with Upwork. Go to Upwork.com now and find your freelance expert. That's UPWORK.com. Post a job for free and get started today.
Last week, we watched Goat Story 2 with cheese.
This week we watched The Lord of the Rings from the 70s.
The connection is that they're both about going on a quest.
Oh, where are we going, Mr. Zach?
Well, you very ugly animated Sam, we're going on a quest for a good movie, I hope.
Oh!
Welcome to the adventure in your ear hole. Sandro, are you cracking open a cold one?
Yes, I am.
Whoa! We're certainly going on an adventure today.
Yes.
Deep into the recesses of the animation and Lord of the Rings. I'm cracking open a raspberry Fanta from McDonald's.
Oh, raspberry Fanta. Yeah, on the podcast, Oldie but a Goodie, I'm drinking a German beer, Zach, an imported German beer for Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Which is fun.
It is I, Zach, joined by Sandro as ever. Hey, Starkie, what drink are you cracking open to edit this one?
Well, I got a Pepsi, Zach.
Oh.
What?
What the fuck?
Oh my god!
Who said that?
We usually can't hear him.
How did I get here?
Oh my god!
I was editing the episode. and
Starkie!
What's going on?
Oh my god! You like popped out of a portal. It's like we summoned you.
Yeah.
It's like during the editing process, you died fighting a Balrog and are now just suddenly here.
Like,
that's crazy.
It's like Beetlejuice. He said my name one too many times when I was editing, and I just.
Do you mean to tell me that he has been listening to the show for a year and is now finally on it? Our special guest for this episode is our editor, Starkie.
Has it already been a year? Jesus.
Yeah, about that, I think.
Probably. Jeez Louise.
God. Hell yeah.
How's it going, Starkie?
It's going good. It's going good. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Here on the show. That's crazy. And you will be editing this as well. So you're going to be editing yourself.
Oh, boy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to eat throughout this entire episode.
God.
Yeah. I'm going to make it a nightmare to edit.
It's fine.
Oh.
I'm used to that by now anyway.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, big
Got him.
burn.
Oh,
Absolute
Zach.
diss.
I can't believe it. You've been threatening this movie for decades.
I'll say decades, yeah.
Yeah. We're finally reviewing the animated Lord of the Rings.
I think it's been at least a decade since I learnt about this film. It's not been a decade for the podcast, but I've wanted to watch this for a decade for sure.
Definitely.
And now it's finally come to fruition, you know? Very exciting to see this. Very excited to talk about Lord of the Rings. Of course, I did my research for this episode. I read the entire book of Lord of the Rings just to make sure I knew.
For the...
Well, I may or may not have read it earlier this year because I just wanted to read the book again. But
That's fair.
But I'm going to say it was for this episode very specifically.
I think you can very safely say that, yeah. And that's why you picked it, and that's why I picked it, and that's why we're reviewing it. It all lines up.
Yeah. And it gets us away from whatever movie we did last week, which I've already forgotten that we even did. So I'm sure it wasn't important.
I don't remember anymore. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Really?
Doesn't
Let's not
matter.
talk about it. Let's forget that I ever made you, let's forget that I potentially made you watch some really bad shit, and don't get revenge on that over again. Thank you.
We've never watched a bad movie ever on this podcast.
That's right.
And that's great.
Yeah, animated Lord of the Rings. We'll do non-spoilers and then spoilers, but also it's Lord of the Rings, so, I mean...
Yeah.
you know. But I guess the spoilers will be more like the differences and all of that.
Yeah.
We'll more go into that, which will be fun. But firstly, because we are doing a franchise movie, a movie that's been made and people are fans of Lord of the Rings, but not necessarily this version. Starkie, what is your history with Middle Earth? I want to know what you think of it before we get into anything.
Good question.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sandro. I've been I've been preparing answers for questions like this all day.
Wow.
Not really.
God.
I got no idea what's happening. So I think I've seen the modern trilogy, the live action one,
Yep.
once.
Wow, okay.
Once. That's it.
Look, once is all you need, you know?
I think I watched The Hobbits as well.
You don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the statement, I think I watched The Hobbit, sums those movies up perfectly.
Look, it's been a very long time since I've seen them.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't even watched the third one, so you're doing better than me.
Whoa. Yeah, I watched I recently rewatched the second one, I think, on like a plane or something.
Why?
Because I had forgotten.
Oh.
But it reminded me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
you're not missing out.
Cool. Yeah. And I will say though, it did make me want to. Watching this movie made me want to watch the live action trilogy.
For sure. Okay, so you watched them younger. Were you a fan of them? Did they spark your imagination, or did you just kind of like go, that was cool, and then forget about it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was like, yeah, like they were good movies, but I just no, it didn't really stick with me. I grew up watching a lot more Harry Potter. It's always like one or the two.
For sure.
Yeah. I based my entire personality on Lord of the Rings, so I'm glad to hear that they were just okay, I guess, you know. They were just alright, you know, whatever.
It's better than terrible, you know? I mean...
That's true. That's very true.
A lot better.
Great. Zach's personality, better than terrible.
Your personality is The Hobbit, Zach, not Lord of the Rings. You base your entire personality off the novel of The Hobbit. Is what I'm telling you, your own experience to your face on the podcast.
That's fair. That is a fair call, and I will agree to that. I used to carry around a little book of The Hobbit, and I would just read that one over and over again, because The Lord of the Rings, great book, amazing, love it. Is a little big, though. Is a little long. Takes a while. The Hobbit, a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, a little bit more concise, a little bit could get through that in like a couple of sittings, you know? It's not too bad.
Hell yeah. But Zach, it's a good way to segue into it. You have watched, you watch them like all the time? You watch them constantly. How often do you watch the Lord of the Rings movies?
I watch them once a year.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say constantly.
That's constant. That's constant for me, considering how many movies we have to get through on the podcast. It's pretty often.
That's true. But recently, I did say I read the book, but I listened to the book because I hadn't heard the audio book.
Did you hear the Andy Serkis audiobook, or was it one of the older ones?
It was one of the older ones, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the old... it was like the old BBC production one
with
of it
like
or
the
something.
actors and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
cool.
so. So that was really fun. That was awesome. Highly recommend. But it was really interesting because I've got that fresh in my mind going into this. All the things that are not in this, but also compared to the movies, the Peter Jackson's not in this, you know, because stuff is added and taken out and changed and other things. It was very fascinating going into it. I was very much glued to the screen, not for the movie's sake itself, but like fascinated as to what was coming next, what is included, what isn't included, and how long an action scene took, knowing that this film is 2 hours long and you are chewing up game time in every action scene. So I will say those long action scenes stressed me out. because I knew every second that was in those scenes took away from literally everything else. And I think that really came to fruition at the end, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that, definitely, for sure, 100%. Okay, interesting. That's really interesting that you read the books, because I also have had, weirdly, I love the movies, but I don't go back to them that much. And I think the last time I saw the Lord of the Rings trilogy was like a extended edition marathon at the Astor Theatre like 10 years ago. So it's been a while since I've watched them. But this year I have done so much Lord of the Rings content. I watched the War for Rohirrim, whatever it was, the anime movie that came out. I watched that.
Nice.
At the start of the year, I started watching Rings of Power Season 2 and gave up halfway through the first episode, but I did start it, because everyone was like, it's great again. And then I started it, and I was like, oh yeah, this cold opening with Sauron's fucking sick, and then you get to knock Gandalf, and I'm like, fuck this, and I turned it off.
Oh yeah, I forgot you really hated the fact that was or was not Gandalf.
I was like, why would you piss me off? Anyway, and I also went to Lord of the Rings the musical in Melbourne a couple months ago.
How was that?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Nice.
I really liked it. All of the different races had like their own style of music, and the Ents were Indigenous Australians, which was fucking sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
They had like didgeridoos and shit. I was like, hell
that's
yeah.
Sick.
But that was fun. So yeah, I was primed as well for this. Primed to do more Lord of the Rings. So hell yeah. Well then let's do some first impressions. Starkie, we'll start with you. What did you think? Spoiler free, obviously. You know the deal. You fucking heard so many of these.
I mean, you know, there was bits and pieces where I was like, okay, keep it going. But I mean, overall, you know, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun watch. I had a good time, and honestly,
Saki's trying really hard not to get fired right now. Like he's sweating profusely.
You can see it.
The gun is pointed at your head.
Yes, it is.
Tell me how bad this fucking movie was, you pothead. Over here, I bet your house was fucking Ravenclaw, you fucking nerd.
But no, I had a good time watching it. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Enjoyed it. That's good. Zach, you already kind of said you were watching it.
Yeah. I both enjoyed it because I'm very heavily biased towards anything Lord of the Rings, but I also enjoyed it from a story writing script perspective, which is odd. That's not usually my thing, but in this case, the story was so fresh in my mind that every bit they added in, not added in, every bit they kept in was interesting to me, and every bit that was not in was interesting.
Yeah.
And so I was very interested. But overall, I think the animation style and the like mo-capping and stuff like that, I think it was very, very quaint, very fun. I think this is a good, like, if you've already watched the Peter Jackson stuff, you can watch this as like a not 8-hour commitment or whatever, 14-hour commitment, whatever it is, to watch the other ones. You can just be like, I'll check this one on. This will refresh me on everything else. You know, this gets most of it done, you know?
That's fair. Yeah, I think I'm pretty similar to you. I was watching this and I was like more interested in the historical aspect of it, where I'm like, this is what they did. That's really interesting. It reminded me a lot of, it's interesting that you said you should, like, for people who've watched Peter Jackson, because this reminded me a lot of David Lynch's Dune, in that it's, if you haven't read or watched anything Lord of the Rings and then you watch this, you're probably going to be very fucking confused, because they leave out so much stuff that it doesn't really make any sense.
I'll give you that one. There was definitely points where I'm like, if you didn't read the books, you would have no fucking clue what's going on. Like the wizard battle and everything.
Starkie's putting his hand up.
That's me.
Sagi, were you confused at points as to what the fuck was going on?
Oh, yes. very, very much so.
Oh, fantastic. That's actually a really good insight. We need that here because I want to know which parts you were confused on.
Yeah.
And I can explain everything to you perfectly.
I think there were a few points where I was confused as well, but it was more like the pacing. I was like, they're up to here already? What's going on?
His name is Balin, not Balin. Please stop calling him Balin. Although I can't throw shade because I'm a DM and I always pronounce my fantasy names wrong, so I really can't throw shade. But there was a couple of names.
Classic.
Midas Tirith or whatever they called it, you know?
I don't know. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here. But yeah, I felt like the animation was really cool. I liked how it's got a lot of like rotoscoping in it, which is when you film something in live action and then like trace over it with animation. That was sick. I liked all that stuff. I just like the art style. It was really...
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. It like at times looked like Masters of the Universe, like He-Man, and then it looked like fucking like Snow White or something for a bit. I was like, what is going on? This is great.
I love the blend of the like mocap animation and the regular sort of like Disney almost animation. Especially when you had the contrast of the ring wraiths.
Yeah.
Because they're all mocapped. And then the like heroes essentially because it made the ring wraiths and the orcs and the other things, it made them look weirdly different and evil and other things like that. Like it gave them contrast, which I think improves the story in that space because they are supposed to be weird.
Yeah.
And there's something off about them, and you're not sure what it is. And it's like, it's a perfect way of conveying that from the books that I think Peter Jackson's one, doesn't do bad. It's just like, this specific style of doing it gave that a really interesting edge over the Peter Jackson's ones, which I thought was pretty cool.
For sure. Peter Jackson's one's like realism, whereas this is 70s acid trip vibes.
Yeah.
I liked how like the magic was like camera lens and like trippy vision, like all that was sick because it wasn't animated. It was like that was like also live action. I thought that well, it's not live action, but like it wasn't like 30 frames a second. It was like moving in real time.
Yes,
because it was like a real effect that they shot with, I don't know, some sheets of paper or something. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah. It's a fun way to add contrast to it. It makes it look different, makes it look weirder, makes it look strange from the perspective of the context of the world. Makes it more like fantastical.
Yeah. And Starkie, the voice acting, were you a fan of how everyone sounded in this, or did you think there was some weird choices?
There was some choices that were made by the people that created this. For the most part, I was pretty happy with it. But there were a couple of voices here and there where I'm like, that something sounds a bit funky here, and I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah. Were there any particular characters?
I should remember this because I watched it like 8 hours ago, but I've already forgotten.
I'm sure as we go through it, you might remember.
Yeah. I think in particular, Gollum or Smeagol. His voice really stuck out to me.
That's interesting, yeah.
I think that's more just like Andy Serkis fucking killed that role.
He owned it.
He fucking demolished that role.
Yeah.
And so anybody else even trying to get close to that will sound a bit off compared to that, you know.
I don't know. Lord of the Rings the musical, the actor I had, he got a song and it was the fucking best. It was so good. Props to that one actor. He was great. He was really good. But yeah, no, for sure.
Andy Serkis doesn't sing during
he doesn't.
The film.
He really should have.
Well, actually, he does do like a little but he doesn't have a musical number. And that's definitely a negative for the Peter Jackson version.
No, definitely a negative. But yeah, I think it's interesting though with Gollum in particular. I don't know if there was a radio play of Lord of the Rings before this, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Peter Jackson took straight from this movie to make his, but the Gollum voice in particular, it really did feel like he was so heavily inspired by what this movie did when he made his version of Gollum. Like, Andy Serkis sounds like he's doing a more refined version of the voice in this movie.
The radio drama came 2 years after this movie.
After then, this movie
Yes.
made the Gollum voice then,
Yeah.
and then Andy Serkis just perfected it. Hell yeah! All right,
Yeah,
that's great.
I was also interested in that. Like, I was thinking the whole time watching this, I wonder if Peter Jackson like watched this film, and I think he did. He definitely did. Like,
Yeah.
he watched this film and like took bits of it because they are very similar and very in varied places. And I thought, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he has said that he was heavily, like, inspired by that. There's stuff that this movie removes that he also removes, where I'm like, that can't be a coincidence.
There's several bits that I want to talk about. Because they did.
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil, he's in the books. Put him in a film. Sorry,
Maybe he's in the TV movies. We'll talk about that later.
he won't be. They'll never put him in. They hate him. There's a conspiracy.
What else non-spoilery is there to talk about? I don't know. I really liked all of the designs of the characters, I think. Aside from one, I didn't like Saruman. He looked like Fu Manchu, and I was like, this feels racist.
No, I felt the same way. I'm like, this has gotta be, like, this can't be okay. There's no way.
Yeah. That was really And then there's a scene where, like, he's delivering a speech to the orcs, and they're all, like, fucking, like, they're like fucking Tusken Raiders from Star Wars, and I'm like, this all feels wrong.
I'll say I didn't have so much a problem with him. I had more of a problem with Wormtongue. I think Wormtongue has that little bit of like, you know, anti-Semitic sort of vibe to him. You know what I'm saying?
That
was the one that
well.
I picked on. I think I like Sauron more because they at least mentioned the many colors thing, which they don't in Peter Jackson's one. There's a difference for you. There you go.
Well, how about that? Yeah. But yeah, I don't think there's much else
Also,
I can
Saruman
say.
can't be racist if he's Saruman of many colors, guys. Come on.
I don't know.
That's literally what he's called. You know? Before he went from Saruman the White to the Saruman of many colors. That sounds pretty progressive to me, Sandro. I don't mean to be the Saruman apologist, however.
Wow. I don't know. I don't have anything to say to that. I don't have anything to say to this.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
got me
You know
there,
what?
I
That's
guess.
fair.
Anyway, let's talk about Balin.
Oh.
I just wanted to trigger you.
Yeah, it worked. I was like, I don't know what he's going to say about Balin, but I'm not going to like it.
I don't think there's much else to really say in terms of the non-spoilers. I do want to very quickly, before we rate it though, go through like the production of this movie because it's fascinating. So, the guy who made this, he's a director called Ralph Bakshi, mainly known for adult cartoons. He did like a movie about a horny cat called Fritz the Cat. He's done like a bunch of like adult animated movies. But he was he read Lord of the Rings when he was like a teenager and wanted to make it ever since then. So he was just trying so hard to like make this movie basically his entire career until he approached this production company, the guys that made this movie, and was like, let me make The Hobbit. And they were like, sure. And there was a script already floating around that had adapted Lord of the Rings by a guy called something Borman. What's his first name?
Hopefully entertainment.
I can't find it. There was a script floating around by John Borman, which was like written in the late 60s, and they were shipping it around, and there was a point, this is fact, there was a point where they were going to make a Lord of the Rings version where all 4 hobbits were played by the Beatles.
Yo! Fuck
Wait,
yeah,
that would be kind of sick though. Hold on. They might have been onto something with that.
I don't know, maybe.
I remember hearing about this at some point.
Yeah, and they approached Stanley Kubrick to make it, and he was like, the fuck no. So,
that's very funny.
So that was abandoned, but there was a script floating around for Lord of the Rings. The director of this was like, I'm going to take inspiration from that. He like chopped and changed it to make it longer and add in, because I think the version that he wrote was like, incredibly condensed. So it was all 3 movies.
Yeah.
And the director of this was like, I'm going to add in like dialogue from the books. I'm going to make it more close to the books. And made it. And he initially was like, it's going to be 2 movies. And so he made one movie with the condition that there was going to be part 1 and part 2. He made this movie, and so all of the pre-production was done for this movie. Everything was done.
Yep.
Everything was ready to go. He started making it. As he started making it, the guy who hired him, funded the movie, the guy who ran the studio, was fired. And then a new guy was brought in who was like, why the fuck are we making this? And then cancelled part 2.
Oh, that's brutal.
So that's why we're going to move on to the big question here, which was, this is only half of Lord of the Rings. I already knew that. You two, I didn't tell either of you two because I wanted to get your What was your reaction when the movie ended halfway through the story? I'll start with Starkie.
Well, I will admit, while I was watching, I had my browser up on the other screen just to because I'm not so familiar with Lord of the Rings. If I can look stuff up if I need to.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And while I was digging, I did stumble across the fact that they did plan a sequel, but they never went through with it. So I was like, this makes sense as to why the ending of the movie is the way it is. Okay.
Yeah. The ending of the movie was going to be a little bit different. It was going to actually end slightly later in the story. I'll get into it in spoilers.
Slightly later?
Slightly later, particularly for our Hobbit friends, and it was going to end on a cliffhanger, and the test audiences were like, why does it end on a cliffhanger? It's the 70s. We don't understand things. And so they just cut that part.
That's interesting, because I would have thought it would have ended earlier so that they could put more in the second half. But I'm sure there's still a lot of things to explore in the second half.
Definitely, yeah, there's still a lot.
I will say, an hour and a half in, I was like, bruh, we need to speed things up, man. I've got a checklist right here, and you're not even half done, bro.
Yeah.
Like, hour 40 in, hour 50 in, I was like, what is gonna happen? What is going on? And then right near the end, I was like, okay, I can deal with this. I'm like, okay, this is, you know what, that's fine. It's not the greatest, but we can have this. And then it ended, I'm like, what? What? What?
Yeah.
It just fucking ended. What?
Well, because part 2 was a lock-in until the guy was fired.
Yes. Yes.
Someone new came in.
Yeah. Like, again, I don't blame them, especially if it was a part 2 situation, right?
Yeah.
That makes entire sense for the ending of the movie, because the ending of the movie is not an end to the movie.
No, it's not.
Which is crazy.
And the version
That's
that we
crazy.
watched was a version that the director later changed a couple things to make it feel more of an ending. It felt like less of an ending. The original version that went out.
The version that we watched had a better ending. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The ending, like, limps over the finish line.
It does.
I liked everything in this film except the ending. I'll say the ending fucking limps over the finish line, and that was brutal.
It's a shame, because I would have absolutely loved a part 2 of this. And everyone, like,
Yeah.
I don't think, because it's such a condensed version of the story, audiences did not connect with this really at all. Critics either.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Rotten Tomato score later, but it's in the negative. It's in the rotten. Because people were like, huh? So just because it doesn't explore the story as much as I think people needed. Like, the Peter Jackson ones go really in depth. You understand the lore. You understand everything. This one just kind of like briefly brushes over a lot of stuff, I think.
I think it's particularly for the time. I think it got a lot of hate. I think nowadays people look back at it with a bit more rose-tinted glasses.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially with the Peter Jackson stuff out to satisfy that whole, like, I want a real big epic for this big epic fantasy. They could go back and look at this and go, oh, this was all right. This wasn't so bad, you know. But I think definitely at the time people were quite upset with this film.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, the director was also really upset. He was fucking furious, especially because he learned at some point, I think, after it was confirmed that part 2 was in the bin, then the news came out that there's a TV animated adaptation of The Hobbit. It's a TV movie. I think it's like 80 minutes. It's a musical as well. And that did really well. And so they made a sequel to that called The Return of the King, which is a condensed version of the trilogy. That's also a musical. And he was like, boo, they're making my movie, boo. And he got like quite upset about it.
As he would be.
But he wasn't the only one who was upset. The writer, the original writer of the script, was also really upset. He has never watched this movie because he's like, I wanted it to be live action. What the fuck is this? So he's also
That's
pissed.
crazy. So many people got screwed over.
Yeah, this was a rough one. A real rough time for everyone involved, I think. But, you know, we got the movie. We'll talk about it more in depth in a second. Let's rate it. Zach, Oldie or a goodie from you? What are you going to give this?
Yeah. Now, Starkie, I will preface this. You will not be fired if you give this an oldie. If you were to give the trilogy of Lord of the Rings an oldie, you would definitely be fired. But this one doesn't count, all right? So please give your honest opinions. I think I got enjoyment out of this that perhaps not all audience members would.
Yeah.
My particular obsession / fascination / personality, identity is tied to a lot of this. So I was very fascinated watching this. I enjoyed watching a lot of this. I was intrigued by a lot of this. I was enraged by the ending. And so I think I'll give it a goodie.
Okay.
I'll give it a goodie. Even with all the like faults to it, I think because I'm such a big fan and all these sort of things, and because of the Peter Jackson ones already existing and other things, I got a lot of enjoyment out of this film.
Yeah.
And particularly the fascination of how, like, the ending, like, worked out and learning all the behind the scenes make me look at this more favorably. But I certainly liked it. I'd watch this again pretty easily.
A goodie from you, hell yeah. I think for me, I agree with you completely. I think that I really, really enjoyed watching this. But I don't know if I enjoyed the movie itself or if I just enjoyed it from like an interest. I'm like, how are they going to do this? And then I'm like, oh, the art style's really cool. Oh, how are they going to adapt the story? How are they going to adapt this action scene and then this character? So I think I was watching it like, yeah, I just like the historical context, which makes me feel like I don't actually know if I like the movie itself. I enjoyed it, but it's like right down the middle for me. If you're going to give it a goodie, I honestly might give it an oldie because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, would I recommend this to people? Not really.
All right, Starkie, you're the new co-host. Sandro, you've been demoted to editor.
Oh, well, just get my old job back. That's fine.
Yeah.
Wait, that means that Starkie's paying me to edit them? Hell yeah, I'm
Yes,
down.
yeah, that's it. Sorry, Starkie.
No.
That's the rules. No, but I think that's fair. I think that's a fair call. I'm in a similar mindset. I think I was blinded by several things, but I enjoyed it too much to not give it a goodie.
But I'm like, I don't know. I love the art style. I love the voice acting. I think the writing was maybe the issue for me. I'm like, there's some stuff here where, like, I think I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to people, and it is old, and I don't think I enjoyed it in terms of the movie itself. I just liked it historically. So I'm going to give it an oldie, but it's still like a 3-star. It's a high, I enjoyed it. I'll give it a high star rating, but I'm like, would I, Starkie, your turn.
I've got it written in my notes here. It's in brackets right next to the title, and I did say goodie. And I stand by that. I think it's a goodie. I enjoyed it. The animation was, I was like, damn, I was actually blown away by some of the animations that they managed to get and get done. Like the rotoscoping, like you mentioned earlier, was really, really, really cool. The pacing at times had me a bit, what's going on here? But but it didn't take away from my personal enjoyment of watching it. So yeah, a goodie. Yeah.
All right, 2 goodies and an oldie from me, but it's more of like it's an oldie but a goodie. I'll be honest, it's an oldie and a goodie at the same time.
That's the name of the podcast. Oh,
yeah.
He's done it. He's done it.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, but boys, it's not ad time yet unless you're on Patreon where there's no ads. Because this movie...
And then it's never ad time.
Well, that's true. You never want to go full ad time. That's what I say to the kids out there. What I have for you for the first time in a month is some bloody taglines.
Whoa!
Woo!
We brought them back just for Saki.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No
That's
taglines for
exciting.
Goat Story or Veggie Tales or Treasure
Thank
Island.
God.
But
Yep.
let's do it again.
Skip. Yeah, taglines.
You gotta give them a thumb up or a thumb down. There's a bunch here. The first one is, come to Middle-earth, a world beyond the furthest reaches of your imagination.
Okay. I'll give it a shaky thumbs up. It's well within my imagination. It's in fact entirely my imagination, but you know, I think certainly for the time it was very fantastical, very interesting. I'll give it a shaky thumbs up.
All right, Starkie, how about you?
I think I'm shaky thumb up as well. I think it's
You can do a sideways thumb. That's fine. You know.
Yeah, I think it's like it's almost a side thumb, you know. It's almost it's a little bit too long, but
Yeah, that's a fair call. It is a long one.
that's good.
Oh boy, wait until the last one. Yeah, no, that's all fair. That's all fair. How about this one? A single dream is more powerful than 1,000 realities.
Which movie is this one?
It's for The Lord of the Rings 1978.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I got confused. I thought this was for a different movie. I thought this was for the never-ending story or something, you know. Wow. Thumbs down. Man.
Yeah.
It's for the never-ending story, not this movie.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think back as to what that's exactly trying to talk about with this movie, and I'm lost. Like,
I think it's just like it's dreamlike, you know. There's rodeo-scaped people running around in a fantasy land. It is kind of like a fever dream I once had after binging The Lord of the Rings, listening to the audiobook. You know, I've had fever dreams similar, but
yeah,
not quite.
Yeah, I think I'm a thumbs down that one as well.
All right, great. All right, here's the final one. Strap in. This is long.
Okay.
One man cast a lingering spell of awe and wonder, of magical innocence overcoming evil, of simple courage conquering fear. He gave us the legend that will forever live in our minds. J.R.R. Tolkien triumphed with the perception that a single dream is more powerful than 1,000 realities.
Whoa!
The ending of the last one.
I'll give it a thumbs up because it's canonically correct and to the books, right? Because that tagline was a fucking novel, and so was the fantasy series.
Yeah,
so I'll give
that's
that
fair.
a thumbs up.
A thumb up.
But also, it was also a mystery to me as to who they were fucking talking about till you said J.R.R. Tolkien, and then I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah. How about you, Starkie?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I disassociated halfway through.
Yeah. That's the correct reaction.
Yeah, no,
It's a shit tagline.
that's a thumbs down from me.
Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up from me.
No, that's fine.
Great
Oh,
tagline.
I just found another page. Hang on, another page of taglines. So let's also just go through these as well.
I thought you meant to go along with that last
yeah,
one. I was like, oh god,
This one keeps going.
never ends.
Some journeys take us far from home. Some adventures lead us to our destiny.
Hey, that's at least shorter.
I'll give it
I'll give it a shaky thumbs up.
shaky. That's good. That's good. How about you, Starkie?
Okay, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. Short, sweet, to the point. It was good. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right.
Ooh, full
Speed
thumbs
through the
up,
last
nice.
two here on this second page I found. Evil has reigned for 100 years. ...
That not true. Literally within the film.
that's weird.
It says, nope, that is just wrong. I'm going to give that a thumbs down because that's just incorrect.
That's really weird.
Look, I trust Zach with this. I'm not as knowledgeable with Lord of the Rings, but I trust Zach. Not true. That's not it.
I wonder if it's...
Yep.
Yeah, it is a bit confusing, actually. It does seem like it would be better for another movie. Okay. The White Witch cometh. That's the next one.
Wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. You've just switched over to Narnia, Sandro. What the heck, bro?
It's a good joke. It's a good meme.
Was it just the last
the
three
last three
reviews
have
from
been Narnia taglines, yeah. I thought it'd be funny.
I even liked the first one. Shit.
Hey folks, it's Mark Marin from WTF. Today I want to talk to you about Boost Mobile, offering reliable nationwide coverage backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Love your service or get your money back, no questions asked. Boost Mobile offers the coverage, network speed, and service you're used to, but at more affordable prices. Why pay more if you don't have to? You can get an unlimited plan for $25 a month that will never increase in price, ever. No price hikes, no multi-line requirements, no stress. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or find them online at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Berner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Well, howdy there. Selly McSella here, back with another ad, and this one is really exciting because over on patreon.com/oldie but a goodie, the podcasters you're listening to right now, Sandro and Zach, have finally returned to their epic mega series on the X-Men franchise. They're up to the prequels. They're doing First Class, which is technically the second prequel because of Origins. Forget about it. Here's a clip. The year is 2011.
Good times.
In that year, I'm going to the cinema to watch X-Men First Class, the first X-Men movie I ever saw in the cinema.
I can relate to this, yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
I look up at the name, and I'm like, damn, X-Men First Class. That must be because this movie is going to be first class, like premium, on a plane. It's the first class of a plane. It's premium. And Zach, it wasn't until 2 years ago that I realized that it's called First Class because it's the first class Professor X teaches. I genuinely thought it was because this movie was so premium. The whole time. That's why I thought it was called that.
Sheesh, that's some lore right there.
Well, you can grab that episode right now over at patreon.com/oldie but a goodie pod. It's a long one, too. It's the length of a normal episode. That's wild. That's so long. And as they get further into Fox's X-Men franchise, particularly the prequel era, those episodes might just get as long as 3 hours for X-Men Apocalypse, because that one's fantastic and they love it so much. Patreon.com/oldie but a goodie pod. Also get ad-free episodes so you never have to listen to me shill for Patreon ever again. I'm an American. My name's Sally McSeller. Let me get the URL in one more time. Patreon.com/oldie but a goodie pod. You sick of it yet? Yeehaw! Alright, spoiler warning, watch out. We're gonna spoil Lord of the Rings for ya.
Yeah, so several British kids, they find this fucking wardrobe and are like, let's get lost.
Hang on a second.
Oh, sorry, I got confused by your bit earlier, Sandro.
I was so tempted to put Narnia as an option for the end of the episode until I came up with what I'm actually doing.
Sandro, you'd just be pulling a Zach by just adding a more Christian option to the ending of the, taking the Cohen's things and putting more Christian.
The live-action movies remove a lot of that, to be honest.
Yes, but Aslan is still a Jesus allegory, and you can't take that away from me.
That's true. All right, I don't even know how to do this for spoilers. We could go through the plot, and go beat by beat what they keep in, what they remove. I think that could work.
I would like to kind of go through beat by beat because I want to know what Starkie thought as a person who's not as familiar. I think that's really interesting, especially the points where you got confused, because it will allow me to explain everything to you, and I definitely won't lead you astray in any other manner.
Oh boy, watch out, guys. Zach is going to be info dumping about Lord of the Rings for the next hour.
And it definitely will be all 100% facts. And you can look it up if you want, but don't.
Yeah,
just believe me.
Why not? Don't do that. All right, then let's. So the movie opens with like a big old exposition dump from a narrator who sounds an awful lot like Gandalf.
Possibly.
And it's great because it's like live action silhouettes for the first like 5 minutes to retell the opening. It's really cool. It tells the story of Sauron, the rings. You got also.
It does get one bit wrong.
What bit did it get wrong?
First off the bat, and this clued me into like the level of the movie. It has the one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring. Yeah, like it has all that sort of thing. But it says the elven smiths created the rings of power, and then it says, but then Sauron learned of the smithery and created the one ring.
Oh yeah, that's not what happened.
It's close to what happens. But just to be as nitpicky as possible at the start, it's not exactly what happens.
Well, yes, as we saw in The Rings of Power, he pretends to be a painter.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Those Rings of Power are very canon.
They're based off notes, so I think they are kind of canon, but they also do pick and choose a bunch of shit. Like how Gandalf comes from a fucking meteor for no reason. I hate it.
He's not Gandalf, though. He might be Gandalf.
He is Gandalf. Well, yeah, the exact point when I stopped watching season 2 was at near the end of episode 1 where he gets his stick. And I was like, fuck this. I just turned it off.
No, that's really funny because of the episode we recorded where you were like fervently like, he's not Gandalf. I hope he's not Gandalf. So funny.
So good. Yeah, what I'm interested in as well is, like, do they explain that in the Lord of the Rings books, or is that extended media? Is that, like, Silmarillion vibes? Because I don't think that was out yet.
No, I think that was Silmarillion. That really went in depth as to, like, what happened there. And it's been expanded upon since. But for the most part, I believe it's, like, Sauron came in and, like, taught them how to make the rings.
Yes, that's what happens yes.
And so they make the rings and then only find out later that the code they were using actually has a back door and Sauron's like, lol, back door, I have super ring, I actually control all your IPs now.
Yeah.
They all report to me, and I've got all your search histories. So you guys better do what I say.
And then he fires Jimmy Kimmel,
Reddit.
And we're like, what the fuck's going on with this what is Disney doing? Yeah, no, for sure. The Silmarillion came out the year before this, so they wouldn't have had time to put that in. So that's probably what happened there.
Yeah, probably. Yep. But it's only like such a small change, and it doesn't affect the rest of the story. It really doesn't matter that start. But I just like that starting bit. I was like, oh, that's interesting, because if that movie was created today, it would get nitpicked apart by nerds like me. So there you go.
That's true. We see Deagle and Smeagol, the whole thing with the ring. Yeah, I liked the line where the narrator's like, and Smeagol used the ring for thieving and finding out secrets.
I was
like, what secrets is he finding out? What's Smeagol doing?
That's in the books. That's in The Hobbit. That's in Lord of the Rings. His whole thing was he found the ring, discovered what it did, and then was just like, a thieving little bastard in his town, where he would he essentially did what anyone would do if they got an invisibility ring, which is steal stuff and like listen to conversations he was not allowed to listen in on. Nobody liked him because of that. He wasn't like helping anyone else. He was just helping himself. So everybody was like, he knows everything and steals everything. And we kind of know that he's just got bad vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's real bad vibes.
Yeah. So eventually they all kicked him out.
He's kicked out of there. We get the flashback with Bilbo as well. I wrote down in my notes, Bilbo sounds like Winnie the Pooh. The voice acting for him just sounded like the voice actor for Starkie's laughing. I think you agreed with me there.
Now that you mention it. A little bit.
He was like, oh, bother, I've got to get to the ring.
Christopher Robin, I found this ring, Christopher. Yeah.
I really wanted to share this because I can't not see it a different way now, but the intro to me, it was cool. I liked it, but I felt like I was watching it through a burlap sack over my head.
Probably how they filmed it, you know?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Dude, some random homeless guy comes up to you smoking a pipe and he fucking puts a sack over your head and starts telling you about the rings of power and shit.
Yes.
And you're like, please let me go, man. I got a dentist appointment, come on.
But yeah, we get into it. We the whole Bilbo intro where it's his birthday and all that, and Gandalf's like, the ring.
It was funny because they called it his like disappearing party or something in the film.
Yeah,
like they're changing the name of it so it like there's exposition in the name of the party. It's his going away party, not his 111th birthday party. It's his going away party, you know.
Yeah.
Because they need to cram some information in every nook and cranny, you know.
They do. I think the way they did it was really solid. I liked the writing at the start. Like they get like all of the stuff with like Gollum. He's going around telling everyone that the Baggins has the ring. That's why the wraiths are after you. And I was like, that's, you know, you get that exposition in immediately. It's solid.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. We get the Proudfoots correcting that it's Proud Feet. Oh, wait, no. The other way around. The Proud Feet's correcting that it's Proud Foot, which is a tiny bit of exposition that there's in the books, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny scene. It's a good scene.
One thing I've got to ask you guys is, do you think that I found the angles of the movie really weird? I found that like the camera, it's not a camera because it's animated, but like there was like weird close-ups on people's faces where it wasn't framed right. It was like we would only see like their nose down, or like it would hold on their waist for a really long time as they're like walking past. Like the angles were really odd. I don't know if either of you noticed that, but I was like, what's going on here? I think Starkie's nodding along.
Yeah. There were definitely times where I was like, why am I staring at this hobbit's leg hair? Please show me what's going on instead.
Yeah.
Yes, it is vital that we, for the story, that we look at this hobbit's big, thick, hairy feet. It's vital for the plot that we focus and zoom in on this, you know. This film was also co-written by Tarantino.
All the feet. I will say the design of the hobbits, particularly their feet, was solid. It was very well done.
Yeah. I thought they were, you know, hobbity.
It kind of made me a little bit uncomfortable how well he designed the feet compared to the first. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
That was a big part of the Peter Jackson production. Was literally all the hobbits had to wear foot prosthetics the whole filming of the film to make sure. But for a majority of the film, you cannot see their feet. But there was some certain scenes where you do see their feet, and for one of them, in a scene just before, I believe the guy who plays Pippin had cut his foot on a piece of glass or something, and they had lost the prosthetic, and they had to do like a quick rush job because it was one of the few scenes where you can actually see his foot.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the prosthetic that they've been wearing the whole time. And the only reason he had cut his foot is because they couldn't wear shoes because they had to wear these prosthetics.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was, there's an interesting tidbit.
That's a fun fact.
Feet, very important. It was written in the books, actually. You might not have read it, but Tolkien Tolkien was very explicitly detailed about the Hobbit feat, you know.
I bet he was that.
Yeah. There's a whole chapter dedicated to each of the hobbits and their differences in foot size and shape, warts, how many hair follicles, you know. It goes in detail.
It describes every pair of foot as delicious, though, which I found really uncomfortable the first time I read it. I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah. Just like how I describe Aragorn's tunic. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's like one of the only parts that was quite aged in this movie, where I was like, oh, that's a 70s fantasy hero right there with his tiny little shorts. And
I'll say, like, half of some of the reviews were literally just talking about the tunic and horny over middle-aged Aragorn over here. So, you know, it's a vibe. People were digging it.
Do you have much to mention in this area, Starkie? Much to say about Hobbiton, or shall we move on to the quest? They head off on the quest.
Not really. I mean, I don't really have like many notes for that specifically. There was a point where I think it was Frodo in the one of the houses in the Shire with Gandalf, and he was just pointing so much. Like, even throughout the whole movie, Gandalf just loved to point at people.
I
found that hilarious. He just
whoever they mocapped for Gandalf, he was like hunched over a lot of the time, and I think he just felt like he needed to do something with his arms. So he does point a lot.
Yeah, he does.
I'll give you that one. I think the only note I had for these scenes before they kind of, well, as they get onto the road, was for the Nazgul that shows up. This is when they'd left the Shire, you know, on the road. But there's like, at the start of the film, the Nazgul are kind of like Jawa-y. You know what I mean? They're kind of just hoods with eyes, and they're kind of more cartoonish. But then later on, they become kind of more scary and like mocapped and evil. But it's like just at the start of the film, they're not scary right at the start of the film. And then later on, they kind of fix that and they become a bit more sinister. I think it's because the idea is like they're like hiding their true identities or something like that. But I thought that was interesting. Like, I wrote down right at the start, it's like goofy Nazgul or goofy Nazgul.
You mean the ring race, right?
Yeah, the ring race. What was I saying?
Yeah. No, that's what you were saying. You were saying the Nazgul. I'm like, that's also.
Oh yeah, that's what they're called.
Sorry, no, exactly.
Sorry, I just forgot.
No, I'm just saying that for the normies. Obviously, I know that. Right. I just mean
obviously
like all of the listeners who aren't nerds
that are listening.
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot.
I'm so sorry. I did that without even thinking. Yes, the ring race.
I don't know.
Christ,
I found them scary from the start. I thought they like kind of walked like zombies. I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, it was just for like the scene on the road where they're hiding from the Nazgul that shows up and is like sniffing around. The Nazgul is like,
it isn't just that. I wrote this down because I wanted to remember this moment. In that moment, Frodo almost puts on the ring, and the Wraith is like, he's about to fucking come. Like, he's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It was so fucking weird. I was like, I'm uncomfortable and I don't know why.
Right? That's what I mean. That's it. And then like they show up in Bree, which is the town they go to with the inn, what's it? Not the Green Dragon. What's the other one? The Prancing Pony. They get to the Prancing Pony, and I think Merry's the one that leaves, or Pippin, one of the two.
Sees them.
And some Nazgul show up, and they're still kind of cartoony then. It's only after they have the bed stabbing scene that they kind of become really sinister. And it's kind of like their transforming scene. and I might be skipping ahead just a little bit here, but that whole scene where they stab the mattresses and stuff, and they all kind of group together and they go was incredible. One of the best scenes in the film, I think.
Yeah, no, I like that as well, because at that point I'm like, if you're a kid watching this, all the main characters just died. You don't know what's going on. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm glad that I'm glad that you mentioned that they look like Jawas, because I wrote that down specifically as well.
Yeah.
Why is there a Jawa on a horse? What is this?
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be crazy watching it with
crossover?
no context.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and I think the first on-screen appearance of the Jawa happened 2 years before this movie released.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, maybe there's some possible inspiration.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, no, I do agree as well that their movements were. I was like uncomfortable with their movements. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is weird.
Well, I think it's because our main characters are rotoscoped, but it's like they hide it better. Like it feels like they're half cartoon, half
they are
rotoscoped.
like heavily animated. Whereas
Yeah, but the
they,
wraiths
like-
are like 100%, even when they are cloaked. They are complete, like they move like you're watching a live action person. You're not watching an animated person, you're watching a live action person who's been colored in. And I think that's what got me. I was like, that's just like the contrast was just really confusing to my brain, which made me feel unsettled. Like it kind of worked like that.
Yeah.
It makes me think of, and I'm racking up the nerd points here, but it makes me think of Wheel of Time. The way it's described, the shadow demon things, where it's like the wind around them was still, but their cloaks still bellowed. Even though there was no wind. It's that description which is like it seems very appropriate for this sort of situation.
I agree. They go to the inn. I like how Frodo sings a song. That was great. I loved I wrote a quote down. All of the drunk guys watching Frodo sing a song were saying hilarious stuff like, "Oh, look at him! They come from the shore. So little, so small." Like that was all like what the crowd was. It was so funny. I laughed at that a lot. But yeah, we're introduced to Strider, to Aragorn, played by the incredible John Hurt from Alien.
Yeah.
He's the War Doctor in Doctor Who. Fuck yeah, love him.
Oh, there you go. I didn't pick that one up. There you go. That's cool.
Yeah, as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, that's fucking John Hurt. And then it is John Hurt. The way they've done Aragorn was really interesting. And my partner agreed with me on this. He looks almost Native American. And it feels like he's way more tanned than the other humans that we see, because he's, Strider. He's been out in the sun a lot more. But like just the design, just everything about him, I was like, are they trying to do something here, or am I just reading into it? Because I thought that was really interesting, because like his family have obviously been here for ages. Like his lineage is one of the longest of men. Yeah. So I was like, are they trying to do something here? Maybe I'm reading into it. I don't know. But I thought he was great throughout the movie. He's also way older than Aragorn in the live action films as well. He looks like, which is cool.
He looks like, because he's actually supposed to be like 80 or 90 or something from canonically, right?
Yeah.
Like so it would make sense that he has a bit of an older look,
Yeah.
Because he's meant to be, fairly old, but it's also meant to be like, wow, you look so young for your age, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because in the books, there's this whole thing of like Strider used to hang out with the king's grandpa, essentially.
Yeah, right.
They used to be best buds. And then Arwen's like, what the fuck? You're old as shit, bro. And he's like, yeah, what can I say, man?
I'm real old. How about exactly.
But it is interesting that you point out that yes, and I think that might be less them trying to do something interesting and perhaps more stereotypical. Could
go the other way. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, But it is an interesting, if you think about it in that aspect, I think that's also quite cool.
That was my thoughts. But I liked Aragon. Did you like Aragon, Starkie? I thought he was really cool in this.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed his character. I thought like since the first scene with him, he, to me personally, he sort of like was the star of the show. He sort of took over every scene that he was in a good way. Like he wasn't like overstepping or anything. It was just just a very powerful character. And hearing that was it John Hurt that you said?
Yeah, John Hurt.
Like incredible actor. So it makes sense that his character was good in this. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think he really is like one of the only actors in this who's done a lot of stuff. The guy who plays Frodo was Jim Hawkins in a Treasure Island movie like the year before, I think. But pretty much everyone... Oh, no.
We should do another Treasure Island.
I could have put it in. The guy who plays Legolas is C-3PO, which is interesting. He's one of the only other like big name actors in the movie who went on to do... Well, he was already doing big things, but yeah. Really, really cool.
I didn't pick up C-3PO at all. That's crazy.
That was really cool. But one other thing, I think we'll talk about it now. One big change from the books comes with Aragorn's character. Where the fuck is fucking Liv Tyler? What's happening here? Where is she?
Well, Sandro, if you must know, she's actually not really in the books very much at all.
Well, no women are in the books, Zach. That's the thing.
That would be probably my number one criticism of the entirety of The Lord of the Rings, is it's just mostly blokes.
Bunch
just
of boys.
mostly dudes.
Yeah.
And is probably the best change that Peter Jackson added to the franchise itself. That being said, all the women in Lord of the Rings are just fawning over Aragorn the whole time.
Pretty much.
So there's something to be said about that. But at least there was the addition of one woman, you know.
Yeah,
that doubled the amount of women in the series.
Yeah,
so
you're pretty right
it's
there.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting because we were introduced to Legolas. But Legolas is also not there in the books.
Really?
No, it is actually an elf called Glorfindel.
I hate that's a stupid name.
Glorfindel, I think it is. Yes, I think I'm butchering his name, which would be ironic because I criticized him earlier about that.
Yeah.
But Glorfindel is his main thing is he saves them over here, and I think he comes back to fight in Helm's Deep later, in the books and all that sort of thing. But he's this elf that both this movie and the Peter Jackson movie uses a perfectly good, we'll replace this character with a more important character for the story. Glorfindel gets kind of shafted in not just this movie, but the main Lord of the Rings series as well.
Well, I mean, same with Tom Bombadil. I feel like the characters that were cut are pretty, similar in both versions.
Well, let me tell you about Tom Bombadil, Sandro.
Do you know about Tom Bombadil, Starkie? Do you know who we're talking about?
No fucking clue. Not a clue.
Oh my god, you don't know about Tom Bombadil? So, imagine if you're reading Lord of the Rings, Starkie, and you're getting really into the fantasy, the lore, the drama, and then it stops for dumb songs by this joker called Tom Bombadil.
Okay.
Every now and then.
Sandro is bad.
No,
and his
I love
opinion
him.
is bad.
I love Tom Bombadil. To be clear, I'm a big fan of his character. It's good they cut him from both versions.
J.R.R. Tolkien puts many songs in his books because they were essentially story time things to read to his children. So he would put songs and stuff so he could sing them to his kids.
Yeah.
Which is
That's very
wonderful.
sweet.
Tom Bombadil definitely had... He was a jolly old fellow, quote, end quote. But yes, essentially, I'll explain. Starkie, let me explain Tom Bombadil to you. So he's kind of like an eldritch being where we don't know the origin of him because he's before time itself existed. He came before the elves, before the land, before essentially everything. No one knows what he is, but he's just a big guy in a floppy hat and like a raincoat. Like, think Hagrid, right? But he's kind of bouncing around, you know? And he's just having a jolly good time. And so the hobbits, they bump into him. They have the ring, and I believe Tom Bombadil saves them from the wicked old willow, which is a tree that tries to kill them when they exit the Shire, which for some reason gets cut.
Don't know why they did that.
But yeah, he takes them to his house, which is just like a pretty sick place full of nature, and like he can talk to animals and stuff, and he's got like lots of honey and stuff. It's a great time. Yeah. But the main takeaway from that was that Tom Bombadil's like, why are you here? What are you doing? And Frodo's like, we have this magic ring. And he's like, oh, cool. Can I have a look at that? He picks up the ring. He puts it on and is like, doesn't seem to do much to me because it doesn't turn him invisible. It doesn't affect him at all. And he doesn't give a shit about it. He's like, this ring, big piece of shit. Don't give a shit. So he's like beyond the whole scope of the story. And then later on, when they get to Elrond, you know, the Elven Kingdom, and they're talking about, you know, disposing of the ring. Literally, one of the things they bring up is like, could we give it to Tom Bombadil? He doesn't give a shit about this ring. And Gandalf is like, no, because he doesn't care about the ring, he would probably just forget about it and leave it lying around because he thinks so little of it. Because he's so unaffected, because he's so powerful.
I want them to put that in so badly.
It's very funny because people have asked J.R.R. Tolkien, they're like, who the fuck is Tom Bombadil? And he's like, I don't know.
He's just a guy.
Who knows?
Some guy.
He's just the guy. I think they ask his age, and he's like, he is before and he is after, or something like that. You know, he's essentially an eldritch being. So that's Tom Bombadil.
So funny.
And he doesn't affect the story too much, so they just cut him from everything. There's a lot in that first half of the Shire period that gets cut from this movie and the Peter Jackson ones, but I think it's very fair because not much happens. And but they did mention, at least in this one, there's like a 17-year gap between Frodo getting the ring and then Gandalf coming back for it. And it was interesting that in this, they like mentioned that in like some dialogue. They just say, and then 17 years later, where I think the Peter Jackson one kind of glosses over that.
Yeah, because it's too unbelievable, I think. It's like, Elijah Wood wouldn't look the same, so they just cut that part.
Well, Elijah Wood would look the same because of the ring's power, Sandro, which actually stops you from...
I liked Frodo's design in this movie. He looked like a baby, and he also looked like my grandma at the same time. The design was so weird. He looked old and so young. It was real trippy. I loved it. But like, he looked exactly like almost like my grandma, like the nose and everything. I was like, what? This is weird.
That's incredible.
I think Tom Holland would be a good like actor for him if they were to recast
to remake
the Lord of the Rings now. Yeah. It's like that sort of vibe where you've got like both 10 and 100 years old.
Chris Pratt can be Tom Bombadil. That would be great.
Yeah. Oh shit. Tom Bombadil. Yes. Oh my god. If they were to make Lord of the Rings, they would totally do that.
Yeah.
And it would be so garbage.
That's terrible.
They would add all the things that like are cut from it, and there would be no point to them.
Yeah.
And look, I love Tom Bombadil. He's probably my favorite character from the books because of how just ridiculously overpowered he is for no reason. But, like, I could see why they cut him from the film.
But yeah, they're running from the ring race. We got a really cool action scene with Frodo and the ring, and when he puts the ring on, he enters like Greenland. That was really cool. And then Legolas shows up and saves them, as you mentioned. Starkie, did you like Legolas in that? He looked like a Disney prince. He was so blonde. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, his design it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was okay. I think.
Yeah,
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
It was all right. Like nothing
it's
crazy.
very canonical in Tolkien's books. He described them as just blonde people.
Oh wow!
There was no
I wonder what
other
he's talking about.
Yeah, he didn't describe anything else of them. He never described. It was weird for J.R.R. Tolkien because normally he describes everything in a lot of detail, especially like his clearly favorite race. But in this case, he just didn't. He was just like, they're blonde.
Oh yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, so it was a very weird gap in his resume. I don't know why he didn't like describe them at all in any way.
That's interesting. I will say I did have. I've got a little note here that I don't know if it happens in the modern trilogy because I can't remember, of course.
Yeah.
But the audio when he puts the ring on was incredible. I loved how it sounded.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. It's different in Peter Jackson's, but it is like a thing that happens, and I think the audio is very good in this one. That absolutely
Very good.
Great, and yeah, like the whole background gets replaced by like trippy smoke and shit. It's fucking great. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
They have the battle where he gets stabbed, which is in Peter Jackson's one, but the one where they're running away towards the river, I think was actually really well done. In this version, I think because in the Peter Jackson's one, it's a big just chase scene where they're riding on horses.
Yeah.
And it's like all about speed. Whereas in the books and in this movie, it's more like Frodo is getting away, but the Wraith King uses his powers to like tempt him towards him. And it's more of a battle of wits than it is a battle of speed.
Yeah, and he's on the other end of the river, the Wraith enters the river, and then Gandalf and Elrond use their joint powers to pull all the water back and then send it forward with like a wave made of horses. That was fucking sick. Again, like that's stuff that I don't even think Peter Jackson would have had the budget to make that happen.
They did that in the Peter Jackson
with the
movie.
Horses?
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't
the
remember.
Horse River.
I just don't remember.
That's cool.
Yes, but it's Arwen who's like speaking to them across the river, not
that's
Frodo.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like implied that she's also using her powers and other things. Well, the only problem I had with that whole scene, because I thought it was really faithful to the books and it was really good, was that it was a very long scene.
Oh yes. About 20-minute action scene there. Yeah.
A 20-minute action scene, which is not the most important action scene, I would say, in the film, but it gets a lot of screen time. And maybe if you were doing, I don't know, 2 movies, that would have been a great time for it. But, like, when you get to the end of the movie, like, while watching this film, I know it's a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
And I know what the contents of The Lord of the Rings is off by heart.
Yeah.
And so, like, from the get-go, I'm counting every minute and every second. And up to that point, I think it's a good pace.
Yeah, totally.
I think, I know there's a lot of things we got to cut, so I think they're doing a great pace. That scene, 20 minutes long, I'm like, whoa, we just wasted so much time, man. What the fuck? Oh my god, what is going to happen later on? I don't even know. Great scene, though. I loved it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh god, it was really good. I also thought there were parts of this movie where I was like, there's some funny comedic moments in this movie. I thought some of it was really funny.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the funny parts for me was just after Frodo had been stabbed.
Yep.
And Sam was just freaking out. My man's like terrified for Frodo.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Legolas appears, Frodo's like dying, like it just so in pain, and through it all, he's just like, "Yes, Sam, it's an elf." Like that was incredible.
Very good. Yeah. We haven't talked about Sam.
Yeah.
The design was real. He looked like one of the Snow White dwarfs.
Yeah. They did my boy Sam dirty in this movie.
Yeah.
But the voice, spot on to what Sean Austin was doing in the movie. So, like, you know.
Yeah, they definitely made him into a more comedic sort of character rather than the, like, companion character that, like, loyal companion. It's more like the comedy relief character that sticks around, not because he's like needed for the story, it's because we need someone to be the comedy relief. That's why he sticks around. You know, that's the vibe I got. So yeah, I would say, they did my boy dirty a little bit there.
For sure.
Mostly because there wasn't any bromance really brewing, you know, and I think that's iconic to the Peter Jackson one is like, will they, won't they, you know?
It is.
Which is the, I hope they don't they, you know, is what I was thinking.
That is true. That's very true, yeah. Yeah. Which I think they leaned into in the musical as well, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's very funny.
Yeah. In fact, I think Sam was gay in the musical. I'm fairly certain he gets a boyfriend at the end of it, which was really cool.
Well, that is a detour from the books.
Yeah. Well, he's also played by a black queer man, I think. So they were like, we'll just do this. Why not? So that's cool.
Great because in the books he marries a girl called Rosie Cotton. And we see that, like, right at the end of the Peter Jackson's one, because the whole thing is he's telling his kids about the Lord of the Rings. You know, he's telling them the story, essentially.
That's pretty cool. Okay. I did mention that Gandalf is there. So Gandalf, in the meantime, he went to see Saruman, got trapped in a thing, and then was saved by eagles, which I liked that we saw eagles at the start of the movie, because I think... I don't remember, in the live-action one, do we see the eagles at this point? I don't think... It's implied. I don't think we see them.
We see... No. We do see an eagle pick up Gandalf. Okay. But it's essentially the same in this movie as it is in the Peter Jackson one of, like, we see some frames of the eagle.
Yeah.
And that's all we see till kind of the end of the movie. Obviously, in this one, we didn't get to that end of the movie, but, you know...
Yeah, I feel like the eagles were better foreshadowed in this, though. I felt like if we got to the ending, if they did a part 2, why didn't the eagles take them to Mount Doom wouldn't really be as much of a talking point as it is in the live action one because of how they introduced in this. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole talking point of it's like, why didn't the eagles take them? I mean, in the books, it's very clear, like...
Oh, yeah.
The eagles aren't like carrier pigeons. They aren't like fucking taxis. You know, Gandalf did a favor to the eagles, and so the eagle is like, oh, hey, that's my boy Gandalf. I'll help him out. But otherwise, like, they're fucking giant flying eagles. They do not give a shit about you and your little shit. They don't like Sauron. They don't like orcs. They're not fans, you know, obviously. But, like... They're their own people. They're doing their own thing. Like, yeah.
I did think it was very funny the way the eagle picked up Gandalf.
Yeah.
I thought him getting flown away is just...
Yep.
Whee!
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's realistic.
Good.
That's what I mean. You're just like,
is.
well, this eagle's got me. I mean, I'm not going anywhere.
Yep.
Points at the eagle. Just points at it.
I liked the wizard battle as well. It
was great.
I wish the scene had been longer, you know, but that might just be the Peter Jackson portion. Like, maybe cut out, like, 2 minutes of that water fighting scene we saw earlier, and just give me a little bit more wizard, because we don't really see Saruman. We see him in, like, 2 scenes, and this is one of the scenes.
Yeah.
And they have this battle where it's just, like, lens flare, go, colors, shapes, other things. Gandalf getting trapped and then saved by the eagle and stuff. And I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. And they mention the Saruman of many colors, which does not get mentioned. Saruman is very different to the Peter Jackson version.
Oh, yeah.
To the book version. And so... It's interesting that it's like they mention the many color things, other things, but he doesn't really get much screen time in this one.
No, well, he's not important for this one yet, so.
No, that is the problem. But in the Peter Jackson one, he does get more screen time, but it's very different to the books.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're introduced to the rest of the Fellowship, so we see Boromir. He's there. He looks like fucking red-headed Asterix. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah. When they showed Boromir, I thought it was Gimli.
Yeah, no, me too. I wrote down, why the fuck is Gimli so tall? That's what I wrote down. And then I was like, oh, that's Boromir.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's, of course, rigid design in my head, rigid idea of what a character looks like. And I'm like, oh yeah, Boromir can look like that. That's fair to me.
I think he matches the time. Like, we're in the 70s in terms of a fantasy hero, Aragorn and Boromir both match what the stereotype was, but they also don't look like how we picture the characters at all.
Yeah, right? It's different, but that's not necessarily bad.
No.
I thought he looked cool. I was very interested in seeing Minas Tirith, the place where he's from, and seeing their kingdom. It's like, what do their soldiers look like? What do their people look like? What does the steward look like? If they've changed it so drastically here, I'm like, oh, because he kind of has like a barbarian look, because they're meant to be a kingdom of kings and noblemen and other things, and it's very much that in Peter Jackson's version. But in this, he looks almost barbaric. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Oh, we don't see them in this film.
No, we don't see that.
It literally never gets there.
No. Gimli's there as well. Starkie, did you like Gimli? I thought he was fun. I think it's hard to go up against the live action version of him in particular.
I thought he was fun. I don't know if it's just the way that I viewed the film or how it is, but I feel like he didn't get a whole lot of time.
Nah,
Nope.
Not really.
At all. Like, he was in a few scenes, and he was a fun character, but it's just nothing.
Yeah.
Really sort of stuck out too much.
Not much with him and fucking Orlando Bloom either. There's no rivalry in this.
I will say my favorite character, Gimli.
Yeah.
His armor is literally mentioned in the books, because when they go to the Helm's Deep, everyone puts on armor and stuff except Gimli, because they're like, here, have some armor, and he's like, bro, do you see my armor? It's already better than yours.
Yeah.
He does get a shield though. Anyway, so when I saw his character, I was not with it. It's probably my least favorite character design, because he's mentioned to be armored, and they put him in fucking gnome clothing.
They do put him in gnome clothing.
He's wearing lawn gnome, sort of like a dwarf clothing. Yeah. I think his size was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Compared to the hobbits, he's taller than the hobbits, but he's just kind of like but he's shorter than everyone else. He's like a short human size.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But yeah, he doesn't get much screen time. So, I didn't care too much for him.
They go off to the mines. Their horse dies from some tentacles, and they enter the mines.
Bill!
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill!
Bill Pony got fucking shafted in this movie. He doesn't die in the books, by the way. In the books, he runs away, and then, literally, it's one of the biggest regrets that Sam has, is that, this pony, Bill the pony, gets fucked. And then they come back to the Shire, and Bill's there, and he's fine, alive. This film's like, he gets eaten by the Watcher of the Lakes. It's like, oh, fuck. Poor
I was
Bill.
so sad when I saw that. Bill!
Bill's just sitting there, and these tentacles, surround him, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, what's happening to Frodo there? What's going on? And then he just fucking, whoop! He's gone. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that poor horse, man. Also, the horse was, also fucking rotoscoped, and at some point the horse falls over, and I was like, they fucking filmed a horse falling over and then animated it just for this movie.
Yeah. Horses can be taught to do that, though.
Yeah, they
it's
can.
It's quite possible that they didn't shove a horse over. However...
the director had a phobia of horses, so any scene where there was horses, he had to direct from inside of a caravan. For fun facts,
that's crazy. Yeah, because there's a lot of horses, especially the ring wraiths horses.
Yep.
In Nazgul.
Yep.
They have a lot of horses, and they're meant to be scary horses. If you had a fear of horses, they would be the worst ones to encounter.
Yeah.
That's very funny that the guy with a fear of horses was directing scary.
You know how everything's a subscription now? Music, movies, even socks. I swear if I...
To continue this ad, please upgrade to Premium Plus Platinum.
What? No. Anyway, Blue Apron...
This is a pay-per-listen ad. Please confirm your billing.
Oh, that's annoying. At least with the new Blue Apron, there's no subscription needed. Get delicious meals delivered without the weekly plan.
Wait, no subscription?
Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
The market's uncertain, revenue's tight, and hiring on hold. That's why results-driven companies are using Upwork to keep work moving. Go to Upwork.com today and start hiring proven freelance talent fast. No bulky overhead. No rigid long-term contracts. Just the right expert right when you need them. Work smarter and faster with Upwork. Go to Upwork.com now and find your freelance expert. That's UPWORK.com. Post a job for free and get started today.
Horses.
That's true.
Because they were pretty wild. They were pretty feisty.
Yeah.
You know?
Starkie, did you like the fight in the mines with the orcs and the Balrog?
Oh god. Oh yes, I did. I did have a note down saying.
Yep, absolutely.
Boromir got shoved down, and then he just stayed there. He just didn't get up. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, you got to
Fair
get
enough,
down.
I
You
guess,
stay
like-
down. You know.
It's a tactic. It's a tactic.
Yeah.
Jesus.
fair enough.
This is where they call Balin,
Yeah.
which made me die on the inside a little bit. But,
That was hilarious.
You know, I mispronounce names, so
Yeah.
it's fine. The Balrog was interesting.
It's like in the David Lynch Dune where they say something that's just completely wrong. Maybe they say like they pronounce Harkonnen wrong. It's like Harkonnen or something.
Yeah,
Like,
something
what the
like
fuck?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, because we have the more established version, because I've read the books, because of these things, and it's like, for me, it's very ingrained, but then,
Yeah.
you know, back then it definitely wouldn't have been, so it's just like, oh, they just interpret it as this, and it's like, oh, that really doesn't gel with me. But yeah, they run out of the mines, and the Balrog has wings. And as we all know, obviously, a Balrog doesn't actually have wings. It has shadow protrusions that look like wings.
Really?
But aren't actually. Yes, that is a thing.
That's cool.
It's also a big internet debate on Lord of the Rings because of Peter Jackson's version of the Balrog.
Yeah, he's got wings. Yeah.
Which also has wings.
Yeah.
But in the books, it is said they have wing-like protrusions, but they don't actually have wings, because in the Silmarillion, they run around.
Fucking hell. Yeah, true.
They crawl around. They don't fly around.
So this fucking... I did not like how the Balrog looked in this movie. I thought it looked fucking stupid.
That's what I was going to mention, yeah.
He was the size of a guy... And he just kind of floated around, and he looked like the Mothman. Now, I love the Mothman.
Yep.
I love the Mothman. However, when I think of the Balrog, I do think of Peter Jackson's version, which is
I
fucking
think Peter Jackson
huge
really
devil creature.
It's fucking awesome. It's probably one of the
sick.
best depictions of a Tolkien creature in all of the films.
And so I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the fucking Balrog to show up in this scene. I think the Balrog was even in the anime movie that came out last year that I watched. It was in that as well, and it was sick in that. And I was like, I can't wait to see more animated Balrog. Let's go! And then he just like flies in, and he's the size of the orcs. I was like, what the fuck?
It's just like a dude in pajamas, like with some wings, and it's just like. I liked that they had the whip though, and it was cracking around, and I was like, okay. It was very funny to me though.
But like in the Peter Jackson ones, you can see why Gandalf has to sacrifice himself. In this, I was like, could you just push him? Just push him up there.
Yeah, they could have just run away. You know, like he didn't appear to be very like imposing or like speedy. They could have just kept running. You know?
Yeah.
I love that you said it looked like Mothman, because that was my first thought when I saw him. I'm like, the fuck's Mothman? What? Huh?
Yeah, you remember that scene where Gandalf fights Mothman and gets fucking wrecked? It's fucking mugged by Mothman. Like, that's gotta be rough.
this is Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and Mothman all combined into one movie.
It's very interesting because, like, when Gandalf comes back near the end of the movie, we cut to, like, concept art of him falling off. And that was, like, that looks like the Peter Jackson movies. That part was sick. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. It's, like, real, like, hyper-realistic, like, I forget what his name is, but the guy who designed everything in Alien, it was, like, his art style. Grieger or something, I don't remember.
The stills of the Balrog looked way more crazy and imposing and scary rather than the mo-capped animated dude in a suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Which looked very silly.
So dumb. But anyway, Gandalf's dead, so they're like, we should go see Galadriel. Immediately cut to fucking Galadriel. And I was like, what the hell?
I was expecting a bit more of that in the film.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I was not surprised, although it was very jarring and very funny.
Because at this point, we are over halfway through the movie. We've got maybe 45 minutes left. And we haven't even finished Fellowship.
To me. It's crazy to me. And I'm like, this has got to go. So when they cut, I'm like, oh, they're going to do a lot more of these cuts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is going to go bang, 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 because we need to get this story done.
Is that the part where they cut to Lothlorien? Is that
Yes. You pronounced it better than the film.
You did.
Hell yeah. I noticed a few cuts like that, and like as you know, as an editor, there was a few editing things in this movie. I'm like, that's
yeah. There was a lot of that in this particular part of the movie.
I did like the scene with Galadriel where she, has the whole, all will love me in despair, although it kind of like whimpers off at the end, which I was a bit of a shame because otherwise I thought that scene was pretty good. And then they just cut away. They're just leaving.
Yeah. They're leaving and they're like, we're almost at the point where we have to break the Fellowship. Cut. Well, time to break the Fellowship. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and honestly, I was on board. I was like, "Yep, we gotta go. We gotta speed through this part."
The part in Lothlorien, I wrote this down because I hate that I thought of this, but I'm like that's just an RGB bird bath.
Yeah,
that's all that is.
For real, it is. Yeah,
it's just an RGB bird bath.
Yeah,
and it's a shame because, of course, they kind of have to speed through the scene as well. But the whole thing is like they look into the mirror and they see. Like futures or past or like, alternate realities essentially, right? But like all we see is them just kind of look into the pensive and be like, whoa, we're seeing crazy shit. But like we can't see it, but they can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to what does it look like? Or what's it supposed, is that like an accurate representation of what that thing is supposed to be, or
the bird bath? Well, it's meant to be a pensive, so it's a stylized bird bath.
Okay,
but the idea is it's supposed to be this flat bowl of liquid that when the water is still, you can look into it, and it's like a mirror, and it's a magic mirror, and it shows all this bullshit.
Yeah,
and then in the Peter Jackson's one, it gets like crazy animated because they see all the stuff in it, and like at one point, Sauron starts looking through it, and you see his eye, and then like Frodo starts leaning over it because the ring's about to fall into the pensive, and this is a whole dramatic scene. In this, it's like, whoa, that's spooky. All right, anyway, yeah. So it doesn't quite have the gravitas.
No, definitely not. We get all the stuff of Boromir harasses Frodo. He's invisible. Sam goes after him. They're now separated on the boat. All that was good. Pip and Merry run the orcs. They run away. They get taken. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Boromir dies. We get all that stuff, which is all really well done. I loved the scene where Boromir in particular was killing orcs and then gets killed by orcs. It's fucking, I don't know if this is a kid's movie, but it is rated PG in Australia, so I would assume that it's, it's animated, so a lot of kids would watch it.
Kids.
It's fucking...
There's not much blood.
The way he dies is fucking brutal.
He also wrenches out all the arrows after being shot, and I was like, damn, You can't. That's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like a bundle of like 4 arrows.
Yeah, it
in
is.
his
He
chest, and he
just rips it
Yeah.
out. And it's one of the few times we actually see like red to indicate blood in this film.
Because all the orcs are purple blood, so...
Yeah, you get a bit of purple blood to
great.
like, make it less.
Oh, we haven't talked about the orcs. They are similar to the ring wraiths. They're actual rotoscoped, but they are completely in shadows aside from their eyes and their teeth, which are animated. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Definitely gave me a little Tusken Raider vibes, as you mentioned earlier.
sure,
But no, they were cool. No goblins though.
Nope.
0 stars. No goblins. You see, Starkie, there are orcs. They are big, and there's goblins. They are small. That's it. Moving on.
Merrin and Pippin run away from the orcs, and then it's Ent time. Fucking hell, what the fuck did they do to my boy over here?
He was fine. Treebeard.
He's got a butt, Zach. He's got a little butt.
He had one scene. Look, Treebeard is a sexual icon.
That's true.
Sandro. And if you can't handle my boy Treebeard, what annoyed me about that scene is it's like 30 seconds long, and that's all we really see of Treebeard because they have to like fucking race through the scene, which is so ironic because the whole point of the Ents is they're like, don't be too hasty.
Yeah.
But they have to haste through that scene. And like Merry and Pippin like dialogue dump for that like 20 seconds like super quickly.
Yeah.
And then Treebeard rants about hills, and that's about all we see of him.
He also looked like the Lorax. He looked like a Dr. Seuss character.
He did look like
great.
a Lorax.
It was great.
I'll give you that.
Were you a fan, Starkie? Were you like, hell yeah?
Oh yeah, no, I loved him.
Yeah,
I've got it here. Like, I love the tree fella. He was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, I wish we got more than 30 seconds of him.
Yeah, right. Did we go past the first on-screen Smeagol section?
I think that's around this point.
Yes.
Yeah, because now
yes.
we're in Two Towers now.
Yes, it just happens around. Yeah. It just happens just before this, where they're going on the river.
Yeah.
And we see like a glimpse of him riding the log in the river. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he comes across
ballsack boy. He's a little gremlin ballsack boy.
Yeah, he is.
I put that down as well. I'm like,
There
yeah,
you go.
Gollum just straight up looks like a sack. It's great.
It's accurate.
I liked him in this, but yeah, the design was that's really fair. He looks grosser in this than he does in the live action one, which is saying something. I don't know.
Well, the live action does a good job of showing like Smeagol versus Gollum.
Yeah.
Like he has he's a bit more wide-eyed and like, yeah, sure, he's skin and bone, but he's kind of like, he's got a bit of a charming air to him. Or there's the more like sinister, plotting, like, crawling creature with big, beading, glowing eyes. You know, they have a go back and forth, whereas this, he's kind of just ballsack.
Yeah. We'll go through their plot for a bit now, because they don't really do anything. They just kind of like walk around. So the movie was initially going to end with them going to the big spider, and then it ends with the big spider on a cliffhanger. Because that's what the ending of this movie leads up to.
Kurth Ungol.
Yeah. But they cut that because audiences were like, cliffhanger, boo! So the movie just kind of ends with Gollum being like, come through this shortcut! Yes!
Crazy to me. I was waiting at the end for so long for them to cut to Frodo to be like, okay, because I know I'm speeding ahead a bit, but like, they finished the film at the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yes.
Which I could live with, right? I could live with, you just combined all the big battles, because it's like 5 battles at the end. You just combine them all into one? Sure,
yeah,
whatever.
Why not?
That could be your big ending, right? You could just have a big ending with the battles for Middle-earth or whatever. But you need a ring thrown into a volcano. That's kind of the whole shtick of the books.
Yeah.
And it's just not... It's just like, we're going this way, cut away, and we never cut back to them. That's it. And like, the movie ended, and that's when I was like, what the fuck? there's literally the whole point of the story is we see a ring tossed in a volcano. And, like, that's the thing, right? Because in the movie, they mention Shelob, or at least Smeagol goes like, she will help kill them. Like, so that's a mention of Shelob, the spider creature that they're going to encounter.
She's going to happen.
But they never do.
No.
Because that storyline doesn't end, and it's just a loose end at the end of this film, which is crazy.
Yeah, because it was going to end on a cliffhanger. I feel like ending this movie on a cliffhanger is better than the way they ended it, because it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, absolutely. The ending
agree.
sucks in this.
I
The
agree.
ending is the worst bit of this film. It's really bad.
It's so sudden. Like,
Yeah.
despite it being over 2 hours long, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
it's the end.
And that's the end of the tale of the most epic thing. It's like, what?
Well, no, it says that's the ending of the first tale of the Lord of the Lord of the Rings, implying there'll be more, but obviously there wasn't. But yeah, no, for sure,
Yeah.
it does end like that.
Yeah, because they have the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty good battle.
I thought it was a very good effort for the time.
Yeah. Lots of orcs on screen,
Yeah.
big army. I was like, ooh, this is good.
Yeah.
There's a little editing thing in that battle.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One of the screams, one of the sound files for the screams, they start the scream halfway through the scream.
I did not notice that.
Instead of like a gradual like, ah, it's just like, ah. I'm like, dude.
There was one where an orc fell off, like they pushed an orc off a cliff, and it was the funniest scream. It's probably now my favorite scream. It was probably that scream where it's just like I said,
It sounded like fucking like Lego Yoda from Lego Star Wars.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it's like it's where they would have put the Wilhelm scream
Yes.
if it was popular back
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because it was very funny to me. So
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah. I thought Helm's Deep was pretty good, though. I enjoyed it. Before we get to that point, though, I do want to quickly say it really highlighted to me how you need Fellowship and Two Towers to be their own movies. Because when you have Gandalf die and then come back again 10 minutes later, and he's like, I'm back. Hello, I'm back. It's me, I'm back.
Yep.
It doesn't work.
Zero impact.
don't care.
Zero
Yeah.
impact. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot you were dead 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I go, well, you're back again. Okay. Moving on with the story, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, we got to, because the movie's in hard rush mode at this point, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they've just learnt that there's not going to be a second movie, so they need to cram.
Oh, they had no idea
And
when
then-
they were making this. Well, they did, but
The
they
whole thing?
didn't change anything.
Oh yeah, they didn't really change much.
Because I think they were like holding
I
out
agree.
hope that it would do well, so they would make a second one. So they were like, we won't
Yeah,
change
yeah.
anything. We're not going to try and wrap it up in this movie.
Yeah, but like it's still because they have to get through like they have to do 1.5 books, right? Because if they're doing 2 films, you still have another half and a full book to do after this.
Yeah.
so
and
they
a
still
lot
had
happens
to
in
rush.
particular Return of the King that you have to get through. A lot.
Yes,
So,
and but they've concentrated mostly on the first book.
yeah.
So this second half they have to really rush through.
Yeah.
But as I said, Battle of Helm's Deep, they get trapped in the door, and then they like ride out at dawn or whatever, and they just blow trumpets, and then all the orcs run away for a bit.
Yeah, I was a bit confused as to what was happening during the Battle of Helm's Deep. If I didn't like know that sequence from the movies real well, I would have been lost, I think.
Yeah. Saki, how did you find that?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
That's the part where it's like they're sort of surrounded, and then they just start like
Yes.
blowing horns and screaming, and the orcs are like, oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
Like,
The orcs
Okay.
like run away at the sound of horns.
Yeah.
But like they've already practically defeated them. Why are they running away because they started blowing some horns?
Yeah.
It makes sense that they like run away when the backup arrives. Just not when people are blowing horns. Like
Yeah.
They started running away like 30 seconds too early because the backup
Yes.
did arrive, but it was just like a little bit mistimed. But,
Yeah, Gandalf shows up
Yeah,
with the backup.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really
I
odd.
was like, did they blow the orcs run away tune on the horns? So the orcs were like, oh shit, that was the runaway blow. So I guess we better run, you know? Like, was it coincidence? Yeah.
I like how they go into the caves and then the king's like, I'm bored, let's get out of here and go die. And everyone's like, sure. Like, again, the pacing of Two Towers is so... It's so deliberate, everything works. Whereas when you try and rush it in this, it's like, So they went in and now they're out again. Okay, so we're back to fighting? All right, why not? The only other thing to mention is they go to the Mad King...
oh yes,
Edoras, and we get Wormtongue. I don't know why they included this. They didn't need to.
Yes.
Because they could have just shown up and been like, "We're here to fight," and the king's like, "Cool." But they include a whole 3-5 minute long sequence with Wormtongue where I'm like, we don't need this, really.
Yes. Well, it's because if they were planning to split it into 2 movies, right?
Yeah.
Wormtongue is important for when they encounter Saruman.
Well, yes.
But we will never get back to that because they show Wormtongue with Saruman in one of Saruman's 2 scenes, and they also show him in this, and he does his whole spiel of talking to the king, and it's like, you are not welcome here, Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah,
and Gandalf's like, lol, get fucked, bitch, I'm Gandalf. And so then Wormtongue's like, wah, Wormtongue, wah, and then he runs away, and the king's like, I don't want to kill him. He was a big piece of shit, but he's still a man of Rohirrim, whatever. But then they form a bond and go right out to kill Sauron and all that shit. But Wormtongue is important, but not in this movie.
Not in this movie. Yeah. Also not played by Brad Dourif, which I'm like, boo! That's the only guy who can play him.
Yeah. Kind of anti-Semitic as well, which didn't help.
Yeah.
But they definitely, in retrospect, could have cut all his scenes. Yeah, and that probably would have been fine.
I really thought the part of him running away was very funny to me. Just the fact he was sprinting for the door, and then one guard's just stop, and then Wormtongue turns around can I leave?
Yeah.
Can I leave, please? And it's
that was very funny.
Just let him go.
Sure.
He's just
Woo.
It's funny because that's pretty much accurate to the books.
Yeah. That's
Wormtongue's kind of a little piece of shit, and they're just we don't actually care about him.
Yeah.
It's not like he can do anything, So just let him go.
Yeah.
And I think in the books, I remember it's because watching the movies, I'm like, why did they let Wormtongue go? But in the books, he's like, yeah, let Wormtongue go, and if he comes back and helps us, then it proves that he was actually on our side. There's this whole thing of Wormtongue's I'm actually on your side, King. Please, listen to me. They're telling lies. And he's like, prove it. And then Wormtongue's like, I'm leaving. Bye. And he's like, if Wormtongue's really on our side, he'll come back.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He goes to Saruman. And it's like, oh, well, that's Wormtongue for you.
Yep. So there's that. The only... my last note is the king introduces Elwyn, and he describes her as his sister daughter. And I was like, wait, hold on a fucking second. If it's his sister and his daughter, he fucked his mum?
No.
Is that what happened here? Because I'm like, why? One, why include that? Two, what happened here? What's going on here? Three, she doesn't have a line. So they just introduce her like that, and she doesn't say anything. I'm like, what the hell's what's
Should
going on?
Should be important in the next film they make.
Well, I mean, she's an important character, but I'm like, what? Sister daughter? I don't remember that from anything.
Do you want me to explain it, or do you want to be blissfully unaware and very confused to why
it's
you
up
said
to
that?
Starkie.
You know what? Enlighten us. Let us see the ancestry of this.
Because it's not actually his daughter. It's the friend of his daughter is the whole thing. So they're not actually related.
Oh, it's the sister to his daughter. But
yes,
the friend's
exactly.
sister. Oh, that makes more sense. See, when you introduce her as sister daughter without any context, I'm like, hang on a bloody second here.
Yeah. So they're not actually related in the books.
Right.
They're just she's just really loyal to the king and all that.
Gotcha.
I believe she's looking to marry Or like she's part of an important house in their kingdom and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's why she's introduced like that.
Okay.
And other things. But hey, maybe if you look into it, it's royalty,
Yeah.
you know?
All right. Amazing.
A bit of a Dutch situation, you know? That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, any leftover notes from you, Starkie, or you're all good to wrap this one up?
Yeah, anything that you weren't clear on, anything that you would need an explanation on, you know.
I do have some notes I want to talk about. The one thing
Absolutely.
I do want to know specifically is, I figure it's because they planned to make a second part, and then they're like, "You're fired, loser, bye."
Yeah, pretty much.
But like, I think it sort of confused me having the two antagonists, the one at the start, and then they sort of just switched to orcs for like just.
The Nazgul.
Yeah,
the ring
what
race.
They called them. Yeah. They called them. Was it Black Riders? I think at the very start.
Yeah. They're Black Riders, ring race, Nazgul. They all mean the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just different names for these creatures. They are like higher up than orcs. They are more dangerous. They are like wraiths, you know. They are these powerful creatures. And yes, in canonically, they get mogged at like the halfway point in the first book. But in that breaking of the fellowship, right? There's a Nazgul around in the books, right? The Nazgul get mogged, but they're wraiths, so they can't truly die.
Yeah.
And then they come back and are more important, particularly in the third book, where they're like leading armies and fucking shit up.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
But the reason that the orcs and the goblins, which are just not in this film, are like the main, like they're the stormtroopers, right?
Okay.
Whereas the Nazgul are the Sith lords, right?
So like Inquisitors, kind of.
Yeah, they're the Inquisitors sort of thing, you know. They're your Dementors. Let's put it like that. They like your Dementors sort of things. You know?
J.K. Rowling definitely stole the vibe from this with the Dementors, definitely. So yeah.
God, I hate her. But like, it was just so weird to me because like the way that I was sort of perceiving it all is like the way like when he uses the ring, they can sort of like feel it, like they sort of sense the ring in like a different sort of way,
100%,
and then
you got that,
and then they just stop, like they just stop chasing them. I'm like, what? They just disappear.
Yeah. They do.
It was so yeah.
They get mogged by a river. What can you do, man?
Well, that's it. Water, the ultimate enemy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they had wargs as well, but they were just mocapped dogs, which I thought was very funny.
Oh, the dogs. Yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah. It was just in like one
them,
scene.
Yeah.
It was just one scene at the Battle of Helm's Deep. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a couple like little things that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed the weapon variety that the orcs had. I thought it was really, really cool. The fact they had like, like some of them had maces, some of them had bows, some of them had spears, some of them had like the Morning Star, is that what it is? Like the bowl with spikes and stuff.
That was
I was like, that's really cool. I thought that was awesome. It was cool to see.
Yeah, it made the army of orcs at the end really pop.
Yeah.
I feel, you know,
really
the
good.
variety. I really liked when like the orcs were getting shot and their bodies are falling on the ground. You just see the other orcs walk over them.
Yeah.
Like they specifically showed that. And I thought that was pretty good, that these orcs are like, they don't care about their companions. They're just like, whatever, he's dead. I'll just keep walking.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
I thought that was good.
I agree.
Another thing was I corrected myself with this because I had to do some research. I put word for word, they're trying to battering ram a solid brick wall.
Yeah. That is the scene of this movie, and without any context,
like,
that's very funny.
What the fuck? And then I looked it up, and it's just like I think it said more so in ancient times than modern, because since like the bricks that we have now, it wouldn't really work against.
Yeah.
But back then, they used it on like sort of the weak points in the wall for brick walls.
Yeah.
So they did use it for that stuff, but I was like,
even nowadays, I go to my friend's castle and I try and break down his walls.
Sure,
you know,
you do, yeah.
like that's all, I do that on
Of
like
course.
the weekends, every other weekend.
Yeah,
You know,
can confirm. Yeah,
but yeah, I definitely like we see battering rams depicted nowadays, and they mostly depicted attacking gates and other things,
gates
so that everyone can burst in.
Yeah.
and doors.
But
and-
realistically, like, yeah, you would have one at the gates maybe, and then you might have a few surrounding the walls and just trying to break the wall. Because if you break the wall, that's a gate. That's an open gate right there.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, don't have a back door. Make our own back door.
exactly.
Although it's
Straight for it.
funny because in the books, Saruman, it, like, uses gunpowder from the east or whatever, like some strange concoction to literally blow up the walls. And in the Peter Jackson one, they do that as well. But literally, it's like because Saruman is like, he is a wizard and he's smart and he's conniving. He like uses the power of gunpowder, which Gandalf uses to make fireworks. He uses to blow up a wall.
Yeah.
And that's how they kind of like break into Helm's Deep, is they literally blow up the wall with gunpowder, which turns out once gunpowder was invented, kind of makes walls a little irrelevant
Yeah,
now.
definitely.
Because I could just bring a cannon over and be like, wall, be gone.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
I have three more. I'll be quick.
All right.
3 more
Yeah,
things.
no. Be as long as you like. You're editing it.
There
so
was- This is true. It was a Sharaman had a flying. I didn't know if it was like a dragon or like what sort of flying creature it was.
That's a great question.
That was fun. I liked how they did that, but yeah.
I liked the design of it. I'm like, this looks cool. I
Yeah.
thought it was worth bringing up because I'm like, I like the look of it. It looks cool.
It looks
I don't
really cool.
fucking know what it is, but it looks cool. So, you know. So, is it meant to be like a dragon or something? Or what?
Yes, so the fell beast, also known as a blackwing or hellhawk, I had to look this up because I couldn't remember what they were called, but I remember the description in the books as essentially they're like, the lore for them is that they're like these bird creatures that they found that Sauron spent like centuries just essentially corrupting.
Classic.
And like inbreeding and like fucking up. So essentially, like, if you look them up now, obviously Peter Jackson's influences really turn them more dragony, but they are like, the description in the book is like featherless birds
Okay.
that have been corrupted with scales and foul magic that are like these flying around beasts and other things.
Yeah.
But they more look like your typical sort of dragon things in Peter Jackson's sort of thing, but they're these horrible wraith-like creatures that are going around. And the Nazgul ride them.
Okay.
So in that one scene where we see one, in the books, I believe a Nazgul is riding it. And that's one of the things that makes them so fucking scary later on, is they're riding around these things. And the mere presence of these creatures causes fear and despair.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, when they go near, they have this cry, but not even with the cry, just by their mere presence, you wouldn't know that they could be like thousands of miles in the air, so far up you literally can't see them, and you still feel like sort of depressed by their presence.
Okay.
And as they get closer, and as you hear that, like, you just kind of like lose all hope
Yeah.
by being near them. So they're very scary. They're these scary things.
Yeah.
And then the lady chick, no, Mary, I believe, lobs its head off at one point.
Hell
Just goes
yeah.
a good shunk.
Hell yeah.
But so there you go.
That's sick.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I've got after that as
Oh,
well.
it's Pippin. I'm so dumb. Sorry.
That's right. I've got on that same dot point. Gollum is terrified of it. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the fact
yeah,
that
he
it
is.
brings despair and feel like that's cool. It was a nice little touch
Yeah.
that they added to that. Then
Definitely.
there was two more things. One of them was when Aragorn and the crew, like after Frodo and Sam have left via the boat, and they're like, look, we can follow them on boat, or we just run on foot, and then they just spend like 2.5 minutes just sprinting.
Just
I'm
running.
like,
Yeah. It's also like weird because like they shot it in real life, but I guess the real world that they shot it in didn't really match where they were running through in the animation. It looked very odd.
It looked odd. I'm like I felt like it went for way too long.
Oh yeah, it did.
Just running.
Absolutely, in the context of like this film didn't have enough runtime, absolutely. But yeah,
So funny.
well, the whole choice is go after Frodo, who is the ring bearer doing the actual quest, or go save Merry and Pippin, and they're like, let's go save Merry and Pippin. But definitely in this movie, they could have just cut to them meeting up with the orcs or something. Yeah. It is a long part of the books though, where they're like trying to save Merry and Pippin by like hunting after them, and they have to track him. And it shows that Aragorn is a ranger. You know, like they're using tracking and footprints and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I loved, there's a scene where Legolas is running, and the way they animated his face, he looked like Napoleon Dynamite. You could like look up his nose. He was like, it was great. It was so funny. Made me laugh so much.
Give me some of your arrows, Legolas. Get your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiot. And just this one's not like really anything crazy. I just thought it was so funny. Gandalf, like the scene right before Bill, rest in peace, Bill.
Rest in peace, Bill.
My homie.
R.I.P. Bill.
Gandalf's trying to like open the door, just shouting spells at the wall, and behind him, everyone's just arguing with each other.
Yeah, that was great.
That's pretty accurate to the books.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but in the end, Frodo's the one that figures it out in the books, and they have that in the Peter Jackson version. Where in this one, Gandalf's eventually just like, oh wait, I remember. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah. I forgot. Whereas in the books, Gandalf like is trying to figure it out, and then Frodo's like, what does it actually say on the door? And Gandalf's like, speak friend and enter. And Frodo's like, what's the elven word for friend? Oh, that's another word they mispronounce in this film.
That makes sense.
Well.
That makes sense.
Because they call it like Melorn or something. But in the books and in the movie, they say its true pronunciation melon.
Melon.
Yes, melon. Correct.
Melon.
Which means friend in Elvish. And that opens the door, and everyone's like, wow, Frodo, you figured it out. I sure hope you don't get attacked by evil tentacles right now.
And then he does.
And then he gets attacked by evil tentacles.
And Bill dies. Canonical.
Nope, he lives. Canonically, he lives. Best news I could tell you, Saki, he lives.
I'm so glad he lives.
Yeah, in the books.
Bill. But yeah, that's pretty much all the dot points I really had. The rest of them are just like small little things that I don't think are even worth bringing up. To be honest.
I don't have much else to say. I think I went through everything as well. So, good fun time.
I think I've talked enough.
Hey folks, it's Mark Marin from WTF. Today I want to talk to you about Boost Mobile, offering reliable nationwide coverage backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Love your service or get your money back, no questions asked. Boost Mobile offers the coverage, network speed, and service you're used to, but at more affordable prices. Why pay more if you don't have to? You can get an unlimited plan for $25 a month that will never increase in price, ever. No price hikes, no multi-line requirements, no stress. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or find them online at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Hey everyone, I'm Kayla.
And I'm Audrey.
I have never read Lord of the Rings or seen any of the movies. This includes the original trilogy or the Hobbit movies. The only experience I have is reading The Hobbit in the 7th grade.
Meanwhile, I've lived and breathed Tolkien for almost 20 years. Books, movies, all the extensive universe stuff, you name it, I've read it.
Poorly written fan fiction.
Also that well-written fan fiction.
Well-written
my own
fan fiction. Your own fanfiction is probably amazing. Join us on our journey to read through the book chapter by chapter in every single episode. You can yell along with me and laugh along with Audrey, or you can read it for the first time right along with me.
The show is called Mordor She Wrote, and you can find us on Twitter and Instagram.
May the stars shine on the end of your road.
A That's Not Canon Productions podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Lord of the Raving Reviews.
Ooh.
This is the part of the show where I get reviews, and you guys rate them. But this time, I'm telling a different tale than normal. This time, 3 reviews from the Rotten Tomatoes reviews were brought in to bring balance to the reviews. Okay. 2 reviews were brought in from Letterboxd for their hilarious humor, but they were all deceived, for 1 review was made by me. And you guys are going to have to figure that one out.
Okay, all right.
Because, as you guys have noticed, I've started using Letterboxd reviews a bunch more, and I've been liking them. They're up and down. This time, the Letterboxd reviews were really horny for Aragorn.
Classic. Classic.
So
As they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
which is fair, but I didn't use those ones
Oh,
because
boo.
there was a lot of them.
Well, if you want horny Letterboxd reviews, go to patreon.com/OldieBuddyGoodiePod, where you can get the latest episode of X-Men, where we talk about First Class. We do some real horny reviews. So go check that out. Everyone's real horny for that movie as well.
Yeah, and the challenge I have for you today, the quest you must go on,
quest,
is that you will be guessing the rating of each review.
Yep.
As normal,
Yep.
earning you 1 point.
Yep.
Then you will be guessing which reviews are from Letterboxd. 2 out of the 6 we have here. And then you will also be guessing which one I
so many
have
points.
put in.
So many points.
For each Letterboxd review you get correct, you will get 2 points. If you guessed my review, you will get 3 points.
I'm not going to keep score of this. This is crazy. This is ridiculous.
I will be keeping score. However, if you label my review as a Letterboxd review, you will be getting -5 points.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. For I wish for you to be deceived, and I hope it happens.
That is ridiculous. Well, over on Rotten Tomatoes, this has 48% from the critics, 64% from the audience, so a bit of a split. Letterboxd is higher, I think. It's like an average of like 4 out of 5. So, yeah, let's do this.
I've also done a little thing here, where, because the Rotten Tomato ones don't actually have usernames for the most of them, and Letterboxd has very obvious letterbox reviews, I have personally written each username for these reviews. So these aren't their actual usernames. I've used pretty accurate, similar, like, they sound like everyday usernames, I'm pretty sure. I think you won't be able to notice the difference, all right?
God, I hope one is Tom Bombadil.
All right, let me read the first one out for you. Tom Bomber, not in this film either, Drill, says...
Okay.
People were right to be mean to Sam in this because his vibes are bad and he is drawn very ugly.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's brutal.
That's so sad. Okay, so that's... Okay, so the first one we should answer is we'll go with the score first. Can't get much of a read off of it. I'm feeling it's like pretty middling, complaining about Tom Bombadil and then also saying that Sam looks ugly. I'm going to say it's probably a 3. I'm going to go 3.
Good guess, good guess.
I'm going to say I'm going to go the other side to Sandro. I'm going to say that maybe they didn't like it as much. I'm going to say they gave it a 2.
Okay.
Locking it in?
Yeah.
Yep. That was 3.
Fuck.
0.5. Ooh, so close, Sandro. So close, so close. You were closer than Starkie, though, but we're not doing those sort of points today.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, so you're still 0-0.
All right.
Because importantly, the main point of this one is to just not pick my answer. All right, as a letterbox one. All right, this review is by Your Orc Dad, who says, underrated and overhated. I think it's better than the Peter Jackson films.
What the hell?
Because this film does almost everything right with its source material and doesn't have any filler lines. Woo!
What a strange review. I want to know the age of the person who did
Well, it
this.
says Your Orc Dad, so presumably a middle-aged man, but, you know.
All right. I guessed first last time, so Starkie, you take this one.
Okay.
Yeah, Starkie, go ahead.
Well, they say underrated, overhated. I like that. Yeah, I personally agree. I think it's a pretty good movie. I
Very
think
positive.
that they're going to go with a 4 for this one.
Ooh, that is pretty positive.
It's pretty positive.
Okay.
That's my locking that in. Locking that one in.
Sandro, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go 5 out of 5, honestly. I'm going to go for the
5 out of
full
5. Now, why would you do that?
Because this gives Rotten Tomatoes vibes, and if someone likes the movie on Rotten Tomatoes, they give it 5 out of 5. They don't fuck around. They go straight for it.
That one's 5 out of 5. So Sandro will get a point, unfortunately, for that one. Yeah, sorry, he's done this a long time, Starkie. You're really dealing with a professional here.
I know a 5 out of 5 Rotten Tomatoes when I hear it.
Yeah, I do not.
Maybe, Starkie, you'll be more on the line of Grimer's Wormy Tongue, who says, handsome men, give me Elijah Wood.
For the wrong movie.
Jesus
For the wrong one. What? I'll go 5 out of 5 again, honestly.
God.
Sounds pretty positive. How about you, Starkie?
You know what? I'm just, no shame at all. I'm just going to say 5 out of 5 as well.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Sandro gets it right, I get it right.
That's 3.5.
Okay.
So you're both wrong.
Yeah, all right, sure. Well, sorry.
Yeah, look, I think, Starkie, the problem there was Sandro led you astray there. Maybe Golem Fursona will lead you correctly when he says, dude, this movie kicks ass.
This movie did indeed kick ass.
Yeah.
Golem's persona was onto something with that.
What are you thinking they read?
You know what? It kicks ass. 5 out of 5.
Whoa.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to go 4 out of 5. Build it different. Oh, wait. No, hang on. 4.5. Yeah, there it is.
Ah, you see, Sandro sensed it. He sensed the 0.5. Unfortunately, it was 3.5 again. So he was close, but
It kicks ass and they give it a 3 point. They're wrong.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. That's yeah, for sure. I see it.
Hey, maybe that's some information that you should store away right here.
Kick ass, say 3.5. Kick ass is like.
Yeah. The next review is by Hobbit Foot Fetish, who says,
Yo.
no, thank you! Exclamation mark, 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 etc. LOL.
Who's guessing first this time? Is it me?
Yep.
1.
That's a fair call.
0.5.
Oh.
Starkie gets it right!
Yeah!
It was a 0.5!
Yeah.
Starkie's on
All
the
right.
board! Starkie kills it. He's got him. You did it.
They were right.
I think you can take that as a personal victory, Starkie.
Yeah.
That you got one of these right.
Yeah.
I think this is the hardest portion of the game, and you got one right.
I'm
Because
glad.
essentially you're doing a crapshoot for like on a a 1 in 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. So I think you did pretty well.
That was good.
And final review is by Big Ent Boy, who says the only way to watch this movie is if you have it on VHS and there's a pet rat hiding under your house.
What?
The only way to watch this movie is if you have it on VHS and there's a rat hiding in your house.
A pet rat hiding
in your house.
In your
sorry,
house.
In your house.
And you got this on VHS. The fuck is wrong with this person? Okay.
This is probably my favorite review we've got in a long time. It's just facts for real.
Okay.
Facts.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Okay. Let's just.
Yeah. Just think it
Just
through.
slow down for a second, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying, VHS, it's a must. That's what they're saying.
Yep.
You got to watch it VHS and not just a VHS and
And a rat.
a rat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So VHS. I enjoyed some films on VHS. They were good. They were good. Not my preferred choice nowadays, but
No.
I get the nostalgia for
Worst way
sure.
to watch things. Yeah.
So the vibe I'm getting from this review that I'll let you know is that this is how they watched and enjoyed this film. Right?
That's
the
I'm
only way to
feeling.
do it.
I'm feeling like, they really put their personal experience into this review, and
Definitely, yeah.
for that, I'm gonna say it's a 2 out of 5.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So it's 2 out of 5.
Wow, that's good. I'm going to go for a 3.5 because it just kind of... I'm picking up positive, but not too positive. So I'll go 3.5.
Well, I hate to say it, Sandro, but Starkie is once again wrong.
Oh.
He's wrong. You got it right.
Oh.
It's 3.5. Yeah. So that's 2 for Sandro and 1 for Starkie.
I'll take
But
it.
now comes the important part. Because now you have to pick which 2 are the letterbox reviews and which one was mine. And this is where it gets tricky. If you label one of the letterbox reviews as mine, that's fine. But if you label my review as a letterbox review, then you're screwed.
Yeah. We could label you as a tomato, and that's fine. All right, let's do it.
That's where I'm hoping to build up enough points to save me from the -5. Because
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Sandro, what are your thoughts on this? I want to hear where...
In terms of which one's yours?
Which one's mine, and then maybe which one's the letterboxes. So the first one, Tom Bomb, but not in this film either, Drill, says people were right to be mean to Sam in this because his vibes are bad and he is drawn very ugly.
Ugly.
And it was a 3.5.
That is Rotten Tomatoes all over it for me. So I'm going to say Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm getting some rotten vibes from whoever said this because even if you're ugly, you still deserve kindness and respect.
For sure.
So I'm gonna say Rotten Tomatoes as well. Yeah.
All right. Your Orc Dad. Underrated and overhated. I think it's better than Peter Jackson's film because this film does almost everything right with the score material and it doesn't have any filler lines. Woo. And that was 5 out of 5.
The 5 out of 5 is Rotten Tomatoes vibes, but the review itself could be either. I'm gonna go Rotten Tomatoes though. I'm gonna go Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay. See, I agree with you that the score's very Rotten Tomatoes, but they felt the need to mention filler lines, and to me, that's someone that would use Letterboxd. They're more into films like that.
For sure.
So I'm gonna say that one was a Letterboxd one.
Okay, all right.
Neither of you think I've put a review yet? That's interesting. All right. Greema's Wormy Tongue says, handsome men give me Elijah Wood. And that was 3.5.
3.5. Starkie, what do you think?
Honestly, I think that was Zach's.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
I think that's Zach's, to be honest.
I think that's a Zach
That's
one.
funny.
Well,
That's a good one.
But also,
That's a good
Zach
one.
did say that, a lot of the Letterboxd reviews were horny.
Yes, they were extremely horny. I will let you know. Most of them talked about the tunics and how skimpy they were, but I didn't put those ones in because there was a lot of them.
However,
Yeah, for sure.
he could be throwing us off by saying that, by being
true.
like,
I agree.
all the Letterboxd ones are horny, you know, and then he put a horny one in, to sort of. So I'm still saying that's Zach's.
I agree with you. I think that's Zach's. That's my lock for Zach as well.
All right, are you both putting them as mine?
Yeah, until my mind's changed.
Yeah, because I can't remember this.
Yeah, fair.
All right, the next one is by Gollum Fursona, who says, "Dude, this movie kicks ass."
That gives me Letterboxd vibes, because Letterboxd sometimes is just random shit like that. You know, it's just like random, like, that was cool, and that's the review. So I'm gonna go Letterboxd for that one.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same boat there, because to me, Rotten Tomatoes is just a troll site.
Yeah,
People just troll on there. So saying it kind of kicks ass. Yeah, that's Letterboxd. Yeah.
All right. Yep. Good.
Fair enough. Hobbit Foot Fetish says, no thank you, a million exclamation marks, and then says
Rotten Tomatoes.
And then has a 0.5. Yeah, that one's probably the most obvious one. I'll let you know you're right, that one's a Rotten Tomatoes one.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And then the last one is by Big Ant Boy, who says, the only way to watch this movie is if you have a VHS and there's a rat hiding under your house.
Dude, I don't even know. What do you think, Star? I mean,
hiding
we've
in
already
your
guessed two Letterboxds, but do you think this could be Letterboxd or?
No.
Okay.
No, I think that's Rotten Tomatoes as well.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
God.
Well, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes for me as well.
Are you? Oh, you're guessing Rotten as well?
Yeah.
All right, we're locked in.
I'm like, your review could be something else, but you hit it too well. That the Elijah Wood one is just so you that I think it's you. So I'm leaving it as that, but it could easily be one of the other ones.
That's the great thing about Letterboxd is now that I'm actually on it, I'm like, oh yeah, most of these is what I would say because I'm also a film bro, so I can put all the film bro ones in that are like dumb memes, and it will sound just like me. And it's very well hidden. All right, I'm just going to go through them now. So. People were right to be mean to Sam in this because his vibes are bad and he is drawn very ugly. Now, I'm surprised none of you picked up on, that I said that earlier in the podcast.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Like, I was literally dunking on Sam.
Yeah, but that's an obvious criticism of the movie, I feel. Many people could make it.
I couldn't even remember the reviews. I'm not going to remember what you said.
Yeah.
The podcast.
You both put this as Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
But unfortunately, as clearly might be thinking, it was a Letterboxd review, and you're both just wrong.
That wasn't even your review. That was Letterboxd. All right.
It wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't.
Such a rotten Letterboxd user.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it, right? That's how I'm mixing it up. Your orc dad had the long-ass speech that was underrated, overhated. I think it's better. Peter Jackson, blah, 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 blah. Source material, didn't have any filler lines, woo. Unfortunately, Sandro got that right, and it was Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And Starkie got that one wrong.
All right.
An educated rotten. This is backwards. This is upside down. What is happening?
And then next is Grimer's Wormy Tongue, which was Handsome Men Give Me Elijah
Wood one.
And you both put that down as mine.
Yes.
Which I find extremely offensive. Because, yes, all of the Letterboxd reviews were super horny, and I put one fucking review in, and you're both like, that's gotta be Zach's one. That's gotta be Zach's one. Because it was my one.
Right.
You both got it right.
Yeah,
it was my
on the board
one.
for both of us. Fuck yeah.
So you both get 3 points. Well
good
done.
Good work.
I'm surprised you managed to hone in. I tried.
Does that mean we're safe from the -5 now?
Yeah.
Yes, you are both safe from the -5. You did well. You defeated me. You threw the ring in the fire. I'm fucked. Like, it's Jova.
So funny.
Hobbit's Foot Fetish was clearly a Rotten Tomatoes review with the amount of exclamation marks in that review. So you both got that one right. So that's a point each. And then the last one, which was Big Ant Boy, was another Letterboxd review, which you both put as rotten. So you got none of the letterbox reviews, but you did manage to get my review.
Well, how about that?
So there you go.
I'm counting that as a win.
And so the final scores for this evening is Starkie on 5, and unfortunately Sandro on 7.
Ah, boo.
Well done.
Well,
done,
I'm the
Sandro.
undefeated champion. No guest can beat me.
It was close, though. It was close, though. You guys did pretty well. I'm impressed.
Well, Starkie will have to come back on and challenge me again whenever he feels up to it. But there we go. Undefeated champ in terms of me versus Starkie. In terms of me versus other guests, I don't remember.
Not so much.
Yeah, I don't think I'm particularly good. Anyway, that's the whole episode.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. Starkie, thanks for joining us.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me. It was great. I had a good time.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Now, your computer's currently broken, so you're not really streaming. But when you get back to streaming, people can go to twitch.tv/Starkie, but with 2 S's at the end and 2 S's at the start, 2 E's at the end. What sort of stuff do you do? What sort of stuff do you play? Tell everyone what you do.
I play pretty much whatever, to be honest. I'm big on variety. I like my different kinds of games, so then I don't get bored and spiral.
Yeah.
When I do come back, I will have to take off Bendy from where I left off. Bendy and the Dark Revival, the sequel to Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yes.
I have Hollow Knight Silksong lined up, which I have played in my own time. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely loved it. And also Dark Souls 3, which I need to finish. So
hell yeah.
if any of that interests you, come say hi.
Yeah,
come hang out for a bit.
Some fun stuff. I've started streaming again recently too, and once you're back, I'm thinking maybe we should do some Isaac streams, team up, play some Binding of Isaac, some dumb rules. I think Zach has. No, wait, you don't have multiplayer yet because you don't have all the DLCs.
Rude.
Unless you did get
I
them.
have it.
You have it?
I don't know. I think so.
Last time we
Maybe not.
went
I
to
don't
play, you were like, I don't actually have the DLCs. And I was like, oh, well...
Yeah, well, maybe I picked them up. You know what? Maybe I didn't.
Well,
I don't know.
You're a man of mystery, so that's...
Yeah. Not that much of a mystery, apparently, by you guys both guessing my review, but, Hey, look, this movie and the original Peter Jackson movies all gave me Elijah Wood, so,
Hell yeah.
But links in the episode description to Starkie's stream. Also links to all our socials, all our stuff and things. If you like the show, number one way to help us out is to tell a friend about the show. If your friend's a fan of Lord of the Rings, be like, listen to this. Then your friend will be like, damn, that gave me Elijah Wood. Then you're like, that's weird.
Absolutely. And they'll probably correct me on all the things that I got wrong during this episode. So that'll be
exactly. You can leave reviews on Spotify, drop comments on YouTube. All that stuff helps out as well. And patreon.com/OldieBuddyGoodiePod. Get bonus episodes. We're back doing X-Men. Very excited. We did First Class. We're doing The Wolverine next month, which I can't remember if that's good or not. I'm very excited to rewatch that.
It's one of the best in the franchise, I'm pretty sure, from my
Considering
memory.
what's coming up, it might be, honestly. So, Starkie, you watched New Mutants for the first time this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was.
How'd that go?
Well, I watched it from the start to the end.
Well,
I
that's
can't really say anything more about that. That's what happened.
What else to plug? Oh, one other thing is, in 2 weeks, I think, from this coming out, PAX happening in Melbourne, gaming tech convention. There'll be games there, devs, tech. It'll be great. All 3 of us are going, so if you see us around, say hi.
Yeah.
We'll probably all be in different areas or the same area at any one time. Who knows, really, what's going to happen there?
We will be permeating.
Yeah, we're all there for different reasons. I'm there as a content creator, so I'll be filming stuff. Zach's there to play board games. Starkie is there to play games. To play the video games.
Yeah.
To be out of Perth for a week.
Ooh,
yeah, look, that's fair.
That's the best reason anyone.
I'm there to visit people that I don't ever get to see.
Nah, Perth's alright. Perth's pretty good.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Well, then we better wrap this up with picking what next week's movie is, boys. We gotta pick the movie. Yeah. Now, we have been going back to gimmies, but I'm changing it up. I'm changing it up this time. I've got 2 choices, and we're not gonna be picking the movie based on what you want to do. That's annoying. Instead, we're gonna be playing a little bit of a quiz. I've gone to BuzzFeed.com. I've gotten the superfan Lord of the Rings trivia, and based on which of you win, that will determine the movie. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So here's...
Well, I should be pretty bad at this, so this should be good.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I've got 3 genres of movies. Zach, you get fantasy. I'm just gonna put you as fantasy. Your team fantasy. So if you win, we're gonna do a fantasy movie. Starkie, if you win, do you want to do a superhero movie or do you want to do a crime-ish, cartoonish movie?
you know, I'll go crime cartoonish.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah, sounds good. All right. So if you win, that's what we're going to do. All right, cool. Here we go. Okay, so I got a bunch of questions. They're from BuzzFeed. Good luck, basically.
Nice.
Some of them are fucking easy. Some of them are... I don't even know the answer to some of them. So we'll see. They're multiple choice as well. So don't blurt out the answer once I read the question.
Ooh, nice.
We'll go one by one. So I'm going to start with Starkie. So Starkie can choose the first one. If he gets it wrong, it goes to Zach. The same with the second question, which will start with Zach. So this first question is, Starkie, what creature is Gollum? Is he an elf, a hobbit, a goblin, or an orc?
You got this.
Yeah, you got this.
Hobbit.
You are correct. Yes, he is a hobbit.
Yeah, nice.
I'm taking my 1 point and running with it.
He is indeed a hobbit. All right, Zach, your turn.
Oh, okay.
What do the elves call Gandalf?
Mithrandir.
You didn't let me read out the thing, but that's
sorry,
that's one of the other options are Incanus, Olorin, or Thankin.
Bless you.
Tolkien?
Bless you.
I don't know. You got it right.
It's Mithrandir.
Yes.
Whatever option is Mithrandir. Yes.
All right. You're 1-1. I forgot to keep score, so I'm just going to write it down now.
Yep.
It's probably very important, actually. All right.
Yep.
Starkie, we'll go with you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of Frodo's sword, which is given to him by Bilbo? Is it Glamdring, Orcust, Sting, or Andril?
Sting.
It is Sting. All right,
I remember
another
that.
point in the board.
I remember that.
All of those were names of swords in the Lord of the Rings franchise, by the way.
Okay, that's cool.
And you said Orcus wrong. But anyway.
I'm actually...
To give Starkie more of an edge, I'm actually going to cut the multiple option choice for Zach. You don't get all...
wow. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
All right.
Here's where the next one's like super hard and I have no idea the answer and I need the fucking options.
If you need them, I'll give them to you, but only if you ask.
Okay.
What's the name of Saruman's tower in Isengard?
Oh, shit. I need the options. Shit.
You've got Barud-dur, I think, is it?
Yeah.
Orthanc.
Oh.
Minas Morgul, or White Tower of Ecathlon.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not that one.
Okay.
I know it's not that one. Because the White Tower is a different thing. Oh my god. So it's not Barad-dûr, because that one's the Mordor one, I'm pretty sure. So what was the other two?
So it's either Orthanc or Minas Morgul.
I think it's Orthanc.
All right.
I think it's Orthanc is the option. That one's a hard one.
That is a hard one, and that is correct. You were right. Yep. It is Orthanc.
Yeah. Because that's all like fantasy names, and those are like my weakest point, like the specifically geological locations as well is also my weakness.
God, I hate geography.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the sword. Starkie, what color does Sting turn when orcs are nearby? Is it orange, purple, green, or blue?
Ooh, I don't think that was in this film, so this is going to be hard for Saki.
Actually, that might be the... Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to say... You know what, it just makes sense to me that it would turn this color. I'm going to say blue.
Blue? That's correct.
Whoa!
Hey!
Oh my god.
Man, Saki's killing
3 for
it.
3. Fucking hell. All right, let's go to Zach.
Yep.
Who forged the 3 elven rings, Nenya, Narnia, Naya, and Vilya? Who forged the 3 of them?
Wait. Don't tell me. I know this one. I know his name off the top of my head, but like I can't get it. Tell me the options.
All right.
Tell me the options.
Sauron.
No.
Celebrimbor, Galadriel.
Celebrimbor.
Oh.
It's Celebrimbor, and that's the one.
It is Celebrimbor, yeah. And he's a main character in Rings of Power, Zach, so I'm surprised you didn't remember.
Yes, that's why. No, that's why I know his name. It's just I needed a reminder, and it's Celebrimbor.
Yeah.
It's Celebrimbor.
All right. Starkie.
Yes.
I don't think this was in the movie, so I'm good luck. How old is Frodo when he leaves the Shire to destroy the ring? Is he 50 years old, 33 years old, 111 years old, or 131 years old?
111.
111? Incorrect. He was 50 years old, actually.
Yeah.
It was 50.
111 is Bilbo's age when he leaves the Shire, because it's his 111th birthday, which is also the same birthday as Frodo, and which is why we know his ages canonically. I believe it's like 17 years later, so... What age would he have been? 50 minus 7? He would have been 33, right?
Yeah, which is the one of the options.
His 33 third birthday is like the coming of age of Hobbits, apparently.
Okay.
So it's important, yes.
All right, Zach.
It's a weird thing, but I probably would have gotten that wrong. I probably would have said 33.
Yeah. All right, Zach, he is your favorite character. So where does Gimli settle after the War of the Ring?
He settles in Helm's Deep, I believe. Or he goes back there. But what are the options? Give me the options.
Options are Mirkwood, the Glittering Caves of Anglarond,
which is in Helm's Deep.
Mines of Moria, or Fangor Forest.
Yes, so it wasn't an option, but it's the Glittering Caves.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because they are actually behind Helm's Deep. They're in the mountain that Helm's Deep is built into.
That's true. All right, we'll do...
Sandro's saying that's true, because he doesn't possess the knowledge to counteract
It's true, I don't, and neither does BuzzFeed. It just comes up with a photo when you press correct. It's not, yeah. All right, Starkie. One more question each. Your final question is, in the movies, so in the Peter Jackson movies, they don't mention it in this. Unfortunately, there isn't a quiz for the animated one. What food does Sam ask Frodo if he remembers the taste of as they travel through Mordor?
Oh my god, that's such a brutal question.
Is it lembas bread, second breakfast, strawberries, or scones?
Second breakfast.
Unfortunately, it's strawberries.
Fuck.
Yeah. Second breakfast isn't a specific food. That's the problem. You could have strawberries for second breakfast, but yeah, that was such a hard one.
Well, Zach, your next one's going to get even harder.
Options,
your final question is, what's the name of Treebeard's wife?
Holy shit.
Treebeard's a wife?
Wait. Yes, so the Ents, the backstory with the Ents is that they've lost their wives. They literally, like, the wives left at some point, and they're like, we don't know where they went. We've lost them.
Oh, no.
And literally, like, their whole backstory is they keep asking everyone if they've seen their wives.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's so funny.
Their entire race is dying out because they don't know where the women are.
So funny. I did not know that. That's hilarious.
Yes. So it's important. Oh my god. So the Ent wives liked gardening more than they did forests, and the Ent men liked the forests more than they did like little gardens and stuff. Yeah. She's give me the options. I can't.
All right, you got.
This is such a hard one.
Fimbrethiel, Beachbone.
Okay. No.
Fladriff or Fingless?
Jesus Christ, I have no fucking clue. I know it's not Beachbone or whatever that one was. That's dumb. Yeah. What was the third one you said as well?
Fladriff. Or Fladriff.
I don't think it's Fladriff.
Driftwood? I don't know. It's not a thing.
No. What's the first one? It's either the first one or the fourth one.
So it's either Fingless or Fimbrethiel.
Oh, it's Fimbrathil.
Fimbrathil?
I think it's Fimbrathil. That sounds right.
You're correct. It is Fimbrathil, which you get 5 out of 5 there. Good work.
Well played, well played.
Woo! Wait, Starkie, did you get any of them wrong?
Yeah, Starkie got 2
The
wrong,
last 2.
so 3 out of 5.
Oh,
Last
shit!
2.
I won! Yay!
Good work, Zach. But
Oh, sorry, Starkie.
I will say though, Starkie, you got 3 right, and considering that you watched the movies like 10 years ago, and this movie
I
didn't
think that was
explain
very
anything,
impressive.
you did a very good job.
Yeah. Especially that, like, half of these applied to the Peter Jackson version and not at all to the version you just watched.
It was.
I think it was very
I
impressive.
read through maybe like 10 quizzes for this, and they were all fucked. And then the BuzzFeed one had some easy questions in there, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah. That was good.
So excellent work there. Unfortunately, so the movies that I gave you for options, Starkie, they were the superhero one was The Phantom, because he has a ring. The connection was rings. The live action version of The Phantom.
Sense.
The movie that you were fighting for though is called Cool World. It's by the same director, and it's it's Brad Pitt. It's Brad Pitt doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So it's Brad Pitt as a human, and then everyone else is animated, and it's just a rip-off of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's apparently real shit, but I wanted to check it out.
I was gonna say, that's so Roger Rabbit coded. I love it.
And that was called Cool World, yeah. But Zach, the movie that you were fighting for, and the movie that won, is a take on the King Arthur story called Excalibur. And my connection between that movie and Lord of the Rings is man with sword. It features a man with a sword.
Oh.
He's got a sword. He's going to swing it.
That was the best connection you could make with that film.
That's great.
I mean, I could have done so
Based
many,
connection.
but I was like, I like my connections of man on a boat, person with 3 nipples, man with sword.
That you do have a theme. I'll give you that. At least you're sticking to theme there. All right. Well, I'm excited for that. That should be a bit of fun.
So we'll do that next week. But Starkie, we'll wrap this up now because this episode's long as heck, and you're editing it. And honestly, we'll probably have to pay you extra for editing this one. So thanks for for doing this.
This is my plan.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah,
wait, this was your plan all along.
Oh my god. He's tearing up the runtime to earn those big bucks.
Is there anything you'd like to say to wrap up the show, Starkie?
Not really. Thank you guys for listening, and everyone that listens. It's it helps Sandro and Zach put money in my pocket so I can edit these episodes.
Yeah, correct.
So you can fix your
for
computer.
real.
It's a big circle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's...
And if you would like to fund Saki's computer, you can head to oldiebuttagoodie.com/
Patreon.com/oldiebuttagoodiepod. You heard it here first.
Oh my
there
god,
it
he
is.
knows it better than Zach.
Saki does it better than me, and I've been doing this for 4 years.
4 years? Wait, yeah, no, we have been doing Patreon for about 4 years. I was gonna say.
God. But yes, no, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was good fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was good to get you on.
We're not paying you for this part.